So, you think you've got what it takes? They call us Apex Legends. But not all legends are heroes. Remarkable. Each fight for their own reasons.
I knew your every move. Shit ready.
From the ashes of war, legends are born.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes. But you know, Mouthful body. Making pancakes, making pancakes.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the real episode 146 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
Oh my God, more like GG's The Mouthful Hotcast. Am I right? Am I right?
Sure. I'm not sure what you mean.
It's fucking hot in here.
Oh, yeah. It's getting hot in here.
It is so.
Actually, I'm all right with this. Sir.
You know, it's really hot when I curse like three seconds into the
show.
intro.
Just started. We're dropping F-bombs already.
Left and right, yes. And that show was again GG.
Yes, that's what we're
The Mouthful
waiting for.
Podcast. Welcome everybody.
That voice, of course, is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister.
I think that's me.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He is unfortunately hot. I don't think it's that hot. I don't think it's as bad as. Do you remember the day that my
your AC
my
broke?
AC went out and
That
we
was
were doing this in the dark?
That was episode
It was like in
30
August
something.
or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah,
Your
that was
AC
really
broke, and it was super hot, but we still diligently
managed
did
through it. Yeah,
we still did
That's
it.
right.
No, it's definitely not that bad.
Yeah.
I like the cool weather. I've noticed. I mean, obviously, we have gotten like really cold in the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And like I wanted it to end. Yes, granted. And I was enjoying the fact that I didn't. My AC hadn't been turned on since December 1st or something like that.
Nice.
It hasn't had to.
So you had a whole month free of.
Yeah, I got my bill and it was like wonderful.
Freaking power companies calling up. These are they dead?
Are you guys?
Yeah, they're not using anything.
Dude, I was so happy. Now today I had to turn it on again because it was like, okay, the winter is definitely gone. Even though
I
not
drop it
technically,
to easily 72. I was like, nope, that
72.
Yeah, they're like drop it to 72. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, my wife will not let me go. Don't
don't get me wrong. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. My wife and I get into it. Like we're I don't know if you've never seen the commercial, but it's just those what do you call them? The thermostats.
The thermostat.
And you have the two people going left, right, and then kind of in the middle, and they're just kind of struggling, almost like a tug of war. It's like, no, you know what I mean? That's me and my wife.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah, my wife is very pleased with this weather. Me, on the other hand, I mean, I like the weather outside. Don't get me wrong. It was gorgeous today. It's just I don't like being this level of hot, especially since we are recording, in this room. Is the three of us here. Both computers are on, and the equipment and everything is on, and
we're not talking laptops here. We're talking,
there's
some high end.
There's two desktop PCs. My wife is studying or trying to.
I know we're not helping at all.
We're not gonna be helping. Yes,
at all.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If this is your first time, please like, subscribe, share the podcast with everyone, and of course, please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there. Takes you right to our Facebook group. We've had a couple new members jump in recently. Thanks so much for joining.
I appreciate the fact that the group is growing and moving because you guys are inviting your friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Every time I see I see a friend or someone says invited by someone else.
Yeah,
I don't even have to look. It's like automatic.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not even gonna question it.
No, exactly. We're just because that we screen for bots.
Yeah.
We try to have everybody.
Fake accounts. That's basically all we're looking for. Anybody else, you're free to come in.
Exactly.
We're good with that,
Which I just wanted to take a mention to point out. Hilarically, one of our members, Panda, posted a list of people that he was deleting from the group because they haven't participated.
Oh, really?
And this is a huge list. Like I was looking at the whole list. I tried to look for the thing right now. Oh, there it is. Like a huge list of names that I was like, dude, if you erase all these people, we're gonna go down to like the 200s, again. And then at the very bottom, he goes, if you went through this entire list looking for your name, I do apologize for completely wasting your time. I have no clue who these people are. I'm not even an admin in this group. I just stole this from another group and thought it was hilarious.
Thank you, Panda.
It was hilarious.
Hysterical, yes.
Because at some
Well
point,
played.
I was trying to think like, did we make him admin of the group at some point?
At
Did
some point,
Chakram
yeah,
did?
yeah. It's possible, yeah. Oh,
Because
man.
hey, I got no problem with that, and we can always use more hands on deck. But
yeah.
if we start deleting people left and right like that,
That is good stuff.
this group
though.
is gonna go down.
There's
I'm
a lot,
sure not
it's
a lot
of
people-
voyeurs, is what it is. A lot of voyeurs.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is okay.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
mind.
a lot of
I don't
people
mind
that-
being,
a lot of
the
Flies on the wall.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, we're okay
I'm
with
all
that.
with
We're
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Every so often somebody randomly comes like, yeah, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. How you been? So
Who are you again?
yeah, that's cool stuff. Guys, what we normally do at first is we go into what we've been up to, then move on into some news items, and then finally we finish with our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic of the week.
This week's hot topic.
I think it's time to check up on EA, bro.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think we're going to take a temperature check on EA because I believe they have no fucking idea what they're doing.
I think we're gonna take a rectal temperature check on EA.
I'll leave that
because-
to you, my friend. Make sure you use gloves.
I'll put the gloves.
Yeah. Oh, well played, sir. All right. So let's start, sir, with what we know too. Sir, do you want to go first or shall I?
I think on this particular one,
Mm-hmm.
we should actually share the.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because we did a lot of stuff actually together. So
Yeah,
might as well just throw it out
This
there.
was a busy week.
It was a very
It was
busy week.
it was crazy busy busy with games. With quite a surprise, and of course, you guys already know what we're referring to. But Respawn Entertainment dropped on was it
Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Yep.
Yes.
Some may
the-
call it shadow dropped.
Shadow drop. Yes. Yeah. So I call
throw it out
it
there.
a wonderful care package.
Yes, a surprise scare pack.
Apex Legends, which I heard is one of the most horrible names for a
It
game.
is the worst name.
Really?
Yes.
I don't see anything.
It's
well,
sir. It sounds like
Uh-huh.
a company. It's like a company name, Apex Legends. Like, what the hell is that? It's like they're, I don't know, makers of drywall or something.
Apex.
You know?
I know it's like a
I'm
construction company.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Yeah.
Apex,
so-
this mall is gonna be it's gonna be constructed
Yeah.
by the Apex Legends Corporation.
coming soon by Apex Corporation.
Actually, no, that's what they're the Wayland Yutani.
Yeah, that's what I'm
of-
saying. I'm like, oh my god, this is just such a bad name.
You think so? You
I
know
mean-
what? I'm coming. I'm starting to see the problem.
It just
I
it
didn't
doesn't
ring
s-
out the first time.
You know what?
It didn't feel maybe because there was a PlayStation Xbox One era not Xbox One, the first Xbox era
Xbox Prime.
Xbox Prime. Thank you. Racing game called Apex.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was, but this is not the sequel to that.
Was it? Are they racing like tractor trailers?
No,
or something?
it was.
What the hell is this
it was-
Apex?
no,
crap?
it was like I think it was like an off-road.
Oh, okay.
If I remember correctly.
Even better.
Something like that. Anyway, all this to say, we didn't, we didn't expect it. There was some rumblings about it during the weekend, or someone was mentioning, hey, Respawn is gonna. There's gonna be more information on Respawn's a new IP, so that's why I didn't get excited about it. The possibility of being Titanfall 3,
Oh, okay.
new IP, and we know the Respawn's also working on a Star Wars game supposedly.
They are. They are.
Yeah. So
Which is still scheduled for this year.
for this year. Oh
Yeah.
wow. So hearing that,
Of course, it
it
doesn't
got
get
me.
canceled, but yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's still a possibility.
Because if there's something that EA is really good at, it's canceling Star Wars games.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna get into that. I was just gonna say the side note: the head of Star Wars or whatever it is happy with what's been
Bob
going
Iger,
on,
the
and I'm just like,
CEO, was it
Bob Iger or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the
And
CEO of
I'm like,
Disney. Yeah.
so you're okay with just them canceling the shit? Obviously, they
Yeah,
don't care.
it's clueless.
Yeah.
So
Apex.
So Apex. Dude, I don't know completely off my. The surprise was not that it was an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
it was that they freaking dropped it. That the game is available right now.
Yes.
And what do you think?
I honestly, first off, as you guys know, EA.
Fuck EA.
I'm boycotting EA for the record.
Right.
Okay, so this game made it a little bit easier to get into because I don't have to pay for it. It's not a demo.
Right.
It's a free game.
It's a free to play.
Exactly. So
What type of game is it? It's a battle royale.
Battle royale game.
Yeah.
Battle royale with hero shooter elements.
Yes.
If you will.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's why I enjoy that. I was gonna just play it for some time, and we ended up streaming it the other night, and eventually, I was I'll just take it out. Well, I didn't uninstall it because I am still interested in playing it again. So it does have a hook to it, and I'm glad that they. I'm happy for Respawn. I'm not happy that Respawn is still part of EA, but there's nothing we can do about that. But I am happy with Respawn. I like the early responses. The maker, I can't think his name, but the guy who
Vince Bella?
No, PUBG. What's his name?
Oh.
Player Unknown.
Oh, Player Unknown.
He.
Well, you don't know him. He's unknown.
He is unknown. Yeah. He tweeted out, his basically saying that this was an amazing launch for them. You know what I mean? And, it was an amazing launch. And then of course Apex Legends themselves replied to the tweet saying something's. I'm paraphrasing here, but we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and thank you for paving the way. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's really cool. Cool. So there's a lot of appreciation in the industry for each other and all that. And obviously, I think the last count that they had, which was probably have been today, they're up to 10 million total players. And I think they've already passed 1 million concurrents. So
2 million actually.
Oh, 2 million concurrents.
Yeah, 2.5 at some point. Yeah.
No. It was 2.5 total players, and it was less than that. It was like maybe 500-600 concurrents, and then now they have total players, total people who basically
who's playing at the same time. Is that what concurrent means?
Correct. Concurrent playing at at once.
Okay, gotcha.
And then total player count right now,
crazy.
Which is great.
It's crazy.
It's only 3 days.
But those servers have really maintained.
Yes.
So that tells us that right there, they. These people know exactly what they're doing when it comes to netcode. This game, this is not a beta. This is not an early access. They just dropped it. It is out, and one of the smoothest.
Well.
The smooth launches. In
the history of games with service, history of games with service, it's probably one of the smoothest, if not the smoothest that I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. For something that dropped for free, it had. Absolutely alpha zero marketing.
Correct.
There was nothing.
No.
I mean,
they literally
nothing.
depend, and they are depending on word of mouth, and of course Twitch, because Twitch is
with Twitch. Yeah, well, that was their strategy. So here's what they did actually, which I wasn't aware until recently. So they actually revealed this game to a bunch of Twitch, Twitch streamers and content creators, the influencers. That's the word I'm looking for. So,
and I think they ended up playing it early or late last week.
Yeah, it was early during
behind closed doors and
behind closed doors during the weekend. I am impressed to the level of how nothing. There were very few things leaked. I think somebody leaked the map. Maybe and the fact that it is going to be a battle royale game.
Yeah.
I think those were the only two things, if that. So for the most part, they control the information very well. This was the most on EA
and still feels very
on release. Yeah, and it still feels to the point where the developers themselves or Respawn, they go in on Twitch and and it's funny to see them taking this stance, but basically trying to. Even though obviously they're partners with EA, trying to distance their name as much as possible from the kerfuffle that is EA, because they're saying EA has had no part or on development and the monetary portion and the release or anything like that, and it shows it freaking shows.
Yeah. It's they didn't even have. They almost didn't have to say it because it's because everything else. I mean, just look at the upcoming Anthem.
Yeah.
It already screams, yeah, this is fucking EA. You know, you can already see all the
remember back in 2013 or 2012, Sin City, when it was, you could not play the game that you bought because of server issues and stuff like that. This one went so, like, from day one, it was playing so well. And I'm not saying that the game was, bug free or anything like that. Yeah,
no, it wasn't.
But for a gold version to be released like that, especially on the days that we live of early alphas, early alphas, yeah, might as well call them early access and all that. Like, I am stunned that they were able to pull it off that well, and good for them. Yeah. Like, it elevates. Like, I always thought, I mean, Respawn, if you guys don't recall, they were the original people behind Infinity Ward. Mm-hmm. They were Infinity Ward before. Infinity Ward, remember? Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the CEO and a bunch of the developers there. The Infinity Ward was known for making the great Call of Duty games that came out to fame that everybody loved. That of the people that play Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. And but they made the good one. I mean, they freaking Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare. That was them. That was what revitalized. Well, that was actually what cemented Call of Duty into what it became. Basically, it was them. So from the moment they had a disagreement, with Activision, and things weren't, it was a rough exit. And they created their own company, and then they got partnered with EA, which everybody thought was it's like you're getting from
Activision
to EA. This is not an improvement. Yeah. But EA let them do their own stuff, and then my concern was that they released Titanfall, and Titanfall to me it was great, but it was very multiplayer focused, and I kind of wanted from them the narrative, a game story. But then they released Titanfall 2, and Titanfall 2 was an amazing first-person shooter. With an amazing, not just the narrative, but also the gameplay itself, and of course it was sandwiched between two major releases from one of them from EA themselves, and the other one was Call of Duty, which is always a major release. So it almost felt like almost like EA wanted to set them. I'm not saying this, by the way, seriously. I know this is conspiracy theories a little bit, but it almost felt like EA was setting them up to fail on purpose, just so that their valuation will be low enough so that they can then go in and acquire them outright.
Which they did shortly after that. Shortly after the release of Titanfall 2.
Yeah, it felt like
which made me go again. I think critically, we all know Titanfall 2 is a critical darling. I'd end up playing it much later on, and yes, it is as good as everybody claims it to be, and it's a shock more people don't play it.
Yeah.
However, it does beg a question with I was going to bring something up, but we can save that for the hot topic. But it does beg the question that it feels very similar a release of Apex Legends with a big looming.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah. It looks
it feels like we're going right back. And this time, there's no. Now, for the record, there's no blaming EA on this one when they're saying this is all us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
we're talking about obviously the release of Anthem.
The release of Anthem comes up,
right there.
Which is literally it's like a week and a half away or so.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. And the other thing is, there are some rumblings and stuff that I've heard on other podcasts from people who are in the industry who mention that there are some rumors that the original launch of Titanfall 2 was in fact a Respawn idea, not really EA's decision. Again, rumors and speculations.
Yeah,
guys. Just take that with a grain of salt.
That would make them like really, really good at developing games, really, really bad at putting them on a release schedule.
Yes, exactly.
Like fantastically bad.
I know.
Like you need a day one patch for that.
Epic levels of guys. You need to pre-plan this shit well. But no, to focus on the game though. I do enjoy it. I love the little hero shooter. I've only stuck to one character, and her name is slipping out, but she's the fighter, the one I was playing the other day.
I should pull those up because I almost feel like I should. Since we're going to be talking about Apex for a little bit,
that's kind of the biggest thing we've been doing. So
yeah, but
anyway, so a couple things that they bring to the battle royale genre that stands a little bit different. The squads are of 3, and you have to kind of always go with it. You cannot go single. There's always squads basically, and the squads of there's 60 players total. It's a 60-player total count, and it like I said, it runs really well. I love the little aspects that they put in there, like the pinging. The pinging is probably one of my favorite new things that I don't think any other battle royale game really does. And I'm just thinking, I can, off the top of my head, I can't think of any of the ones that do.
If we're allowed to, these websites do not like the fact that I'm using ad blockers. I hate the fact that they do that now. So it's one of
that's her right there.
What's her name? You saw it?
Bangalore.
Bangalore
Okay. Is the one who I've been maining, and I mean, when I say maining, I only play it once, but that's who I'm going to focus on because I kind of like what she has. She's got like this smoke grenade that can go out and give you cover.
Yeah.
And her special is when she'll call in like this airstrike or something like that.
Yeah. To what you were mentioning about the communication.
Yes.
Yes. I find that one of the things I
so
really
simple too. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about this game is that you could play it without headsets almost. You wouldn't need to play it with headset. As a fact, excuse me. Sorry about that. Thank you. Oh my God. As a fact, there was a report that a month of development playtesting went without without using headset, so that they can fine tune and work that system. So the system, a lot of you probably have already experienced if you have played the game, but it's a system where you're basically tagging stuff and that you want to call attention. So,
correct.
So say for example, it could be anything on almost anything on the map. Like if you spot an enemy, you will double click or press
it's R1 on the
PlayStation,
yeah.
and it'll say, hey, I see an enemy. I mean, if there was really an enemy, like if you were pointing to an enemy, it'll show the enemy, and I think that it might even tell you the class. But if there isn't an enemy, if you're just pointing at an area where you kind of saw the enemy, it is contextualized enough to where it'll say, hey, I saw an enemy at this location.
This is the last spot that I saw.
Also, if there's a weapon, for example, hey, there's a weapon here. It'll tell you the name of the weapon, the name of the ammo. You can even go into your inventory and tag anything that you will need. Like, hey, I need ammo for this, for example. So it is a fantastic way of
communicating without needing to speak on headsets.
Correct.
Which it just adds a certain level of detail that you don't get from other games like PUBG or Fortnite.
There's a level of granularity on the things that you can actually point out.
Correct. Yes, and it's very specific. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I've said it when I was playing. Saying, I got the stupid shotgun. Anybody got shotgun shells? Immediately, Chaos would tag the shells that he sees in front of him, and the character would say, "Shotgun shells right here."
I need ammo. I need armor. And you will tag on. Okay, there's a level 2 armor over here.
Correct.
And you're not telling me. You're just tagging
the character
it.
The character is just tagging the game is saying.
I'll give you more examples of really cool things that I noticed when I was playing, because this characters, a lot of people say, because obviously they're drawing the comparison with with the character from Overwatch, and of course on Overwatch there is this lore already that they have put together for each character ever since it came out, and evidently ever changing also.
Yes.
But that's something else. Over here they're also establishing that, but because we still are new to the characters, we might not know what that lore is, and people are criticizing like, oh yeah, I kind of wish they had the relation of the when you pair these two characters, they will talk to each other like this way or whatever, which I don't care, because I feel like the game has enough chat as it is already.
Yeah, we don't need an additional unnecessary chat.
Yeah,
that's what that yes, that builds out the relationship and all that, and that's cool. But at the same time, when you're in battle, man, you're in battle.
Yeah,
what's being said is important. And so no, I'm glad that they focus on.
They don't, they're not necessarily doing that, but they're not living in as, oh, I picked my character and now I'm just some silent, protagonist. Each character actually, they express themselves. Like, say for example, I was playing yesterday, and I actually bought one character because I saw this character. I really liked it. He was one of the unlockables. I think his name is Mirage.
Yeah, I think that's him.
And
the one with that sends out
the decoy. Yeah, the one that he sends a decoy of himself. And I like the idea because I think that was a feature in Titanfall 2 also, where you could send a decoy. The enemy player will go again, behind the decoy trying to shoot him, and then you sneak from behind and boom, and take him out. And it's really cool. It's not super easy, but it is super fun.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so his character, he's almost like a Nathan Drake-ish kind of attitude, where I was with this group of randos, and of course I'm trying to talk to them on the thing. Nobody's responding. The moment that we go, that we jump, they go their way like separate, like everybody. So they leave me by myself. So I'm like, okay, great. So I got into like this remote area, very far from the circle, and my character will be. I'll be picking stuff. My character will be like, man, that ring is too far, and I have no backup. Like he realizes that your friends left you. It's like, this ring is far, and I have no backup. I better get going. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Or he'd be like, 1 minute to the ring close. And I'm talking to myself now.
Those are cool. Those are cool elements.
Yeah, exactly. So
I don't mind that stuff because that's not. It doesn't take you away from the game itself.
It is. Yeah. They're really. So the reason I'm bringing it up is because those who are saying that these characters have no personality is because you're not listening. You're not listening. Exactly. You're chatting with your peeps. Yeah. And they also, and I might be getting a little bit ahead of here, but Respawn they released that kind of like their roadmap, and for
which
this
is
game.
One of the news pieces. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you bring it up because I want you to confirm to me or not if this is what I saw, but something along the lines of at least one character, not a month, but on a consistent basis.
Consistent basis, yes. It wouldn't say month.
So that's awesome. That's
because if you look at that character select screen, that's a big screen, with a lot of space. Not being used. So it's like, okay,
there's
if you guys can work that, sure.
Right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, it's not that many.
12, 13. No?
No, you're counting each one, but one is so you got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5,
the skill.
6, 7,
sorry.
8 players.
8 players. Yeah, that's right. So, and 2 of them are behind a paywall.
They are behind a paywall, which you can earn normally, which is what I'm going to play. I tell you, I'm not going to give any of the money. No offense, it's EA, and I can't.
I know, yeah.
I can't. Saying.
See,
however,
this is the thing
I do respect Respawn, and I do respect them. Unfortunately, I'm gonna buy another, but I will try my best to earn everything.
This is the point that because I was very torn in that. This is like fuck. This is still at the end of the day. This is still EA and this and that. But if we ever want to send a message and we have been consistent of speak with your wallet. Then
this will be in this case to do,
will be this will be sending the message of okay, this right here, this is done right.
Yeah,
this is free to play done right.
They are making this money. Yeah, I can see that.
So in that case, I
just want to see. I just want to see. No, I get you, but I want to. Not that I don't believe it, but it's a little unbelievable.
It is a little.
This is an EA.
True.
Maybe not developed, but it's a EA published game. And so I have to. I'm gonna me personally be a little bit more.
The thing is because it's EA, it's almost like okay, this is too good already, and that when something is running along, something is chugging on just fine. When the chicken is laying the golden eggs. Yeah. You're not gonna go in and fuck with the chicken, right? You're gonna let it lay the eggs, let it lay eggs.
Do exactly what Disney did with Marvel.
Yeah,
they bought Marvel, but they let Marvel be Marvel.
Yeah,
they don't mess with them. Just that's fine.
Yeah, don't try because it's EA, you can't help but think like
at some point they're gonna just butt in with something and just mess it up.
But the thing is, they're already starting right from the get go, making it free to play because I mean the games. I was thinking like this morning. I was not concentrated at work because I wanted to be home and I wanted to play.
More
And
Apex, yeah.
one of the
I actually want to play some more. I'm not gonna lie,
I
but I need to play Resident Evil 2. But yeah,
I wanted to like, oh man, I was because I put overtime for tomorrow, and I was like, why did I do that? I could be playing. I could be playing Apex.
That's okay. I'll play for you, sir.
There you go.
In your name, as I die, shot in the face. This was for Santos.
Carry my name.
Yeah, avenge me, comrades. Oh,
Dude,
man.
so
realistically, I'm very impressed with the game. I'm very happy with it. I was, like I said, my intention was to download it, put it in, play it for a little bit, and uninstall it because I'm not going to play it again.
Yeah.
And yet, I don't want to uninstall it.
No, this might be.
I don't want to uninstall it. I actually am enjoying what I'm playing, especially playing with your peeps, and that is something that I planned. Like, I don't want to. I'm not going to be playing this by myself.
No, if you're going to play at some point, throw me the message. I'm going to try my best if I can.
Okay.
Because
Chaos, obviously, and Gio, because Gio tried to join us the other night. And
Yeah.
I'd love to get him on board as well.
Yeah,
Well, actually,
yeah.
I'll get everybody on board. What the hell? We can get a bunch of people on board.
Yeah. Oh, and get among yourselves also. You guys should be playing. You guys should be downloading and playing this game.
Absolutely, it's free. There's no reason not
Exactly,
to. Yeah.
exactly.
Unless you just don't like this type of game. I get you.
I will
But,
argue that even if you're not, because I understand that, because I was not big into this type of games either, into battle royales, but because I played PUBG and I played Fortnite and they were okay, you know.
I like PUBG. I really
yeah,
did like PUBG,
yeah. PUBG wasn't.
It's just
bad
that I was
for
playing on
for the time.
PC and
So
fuck PC.
yeah, right. Fuck PC.
So
So
keyboard mouse shit. I'm sorry.
And
go
yeah,
ahead.
you were doing so well. But even I will argue that even if you don't like this is different in. I mean, this is the same type of game, but the rule set and the things that they have made, the innovation that they have made, especially with the communication systems, with the weapons that themselves,
The weapon upgrades.
with the weapon upgrades and all that, it is different enough and a low barrier of entry that you owe it to yourself to at least
Just
give it a try.
shot, yeah.
Just give it a shot. There's nothing. I mean, it's free. It runs beautifully, 60 frames per second, or at least that's what it's targeting for the most part.
Okay. I don't know if that's playing on console that way, but sure.
Well, on the Pro it was, you know, but yeah, I think that was the target anyway from Digital Foundry. That's what they say the target is, and
It could just be because I was, again,
'Cause you're-
it's not 100% either. The game obviously still has its
and
little
the game
things
says,
there, so,
exactly.
Could be that too.
So I forgot to mention about the finishers, which is something that I just realized
Oh yeah, the
recently.
finishers, yeah. I did it one. Well, no, I got interrupted, which pisses me off.
Oh, my
I was
God.
Like, I got interrupted by somebody else who's coming
So
in.
the finishers,
Yeah.
You down an enemy, and you know they sometimes put that shield to protect themselves, almost, which is hilarious. You can
That's
get
great,
close.
too, though.
It's almost like performing a fatality.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so
It's very satisfying, yeah.
I always thought that was just what I would see on my end. That on let's say on your end, if you killed me, all you saw is just, oh, you killing me. But on my end, when I die, it'll have that animation.
Yeah, no.
So I didn't know that was like, oh no, you actually initiate this. So I'm dying to go back to play so I can try it.
I only did it, like I said, I only did it that one, and I forget. That's the whole deal. Because obviously, it's got to be someone who's not dead, and they're just kind of, dying, basically bleeding out. And I got interrupted. I was like, son of a bitch.
You can have one of your peers be down, and you can like revive them.
Yep.
Also,
it's not like I guess Fortnite, right? Because
Well,
Fortnite, you can be revived in Fortnite, right?
well, you could be.
Yeah, you can be revived.
You could be revived. Yeah, no, for the most part, what I mean is like there is the dead. What there's when you're down, and then there's the super dead where you're like
yes,
eliminated.
when you get, essentially,
when you get
called back,
eliminated, you can
you
actually
can still come back.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
If
Which is pretty awesome.
Which is awesome because basically when you die, you leave this like a crate.
Yeah.
And so someone gets your comm or whatever the hell it is. It's something that they get from you. And if they bring it to this respawn point,
yeah.
Respawn
Respawn
point, yeah. They like it.
Huh? Yeah.
You bring it to this respawn point, and you have to spend a little bit of time on the respawn point, usually like, 5 to 10 seconds, something like that. There's a countdown.
It's a time, yeah,
the
there's
thing
a
is, you could actually bring that character back, so you're completely. So if you manage to get one of your squad members to revive you, then
you got team back.
you get your team
got
back.
your squad
Exactly.
back,
And also the fact that the game you could solo if you're an asshole. No, I'm kidding. you can solo if you want, but you shouldn't. This is not the type of game where you're meant to be the lone wolf, and you're not gonna survive because everybody is squatting into three, squads of three for the most part, and those are the groups that that tend to win.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I have my first Titanfall chicken dinner.
Did you? Nice.
I got it on the second time that I ever played.
Oh, nice.
Because I got with two people that were doing really good. I was learning. I was trying to play. I was trying to play my part, being a supporting role. So I'm maining for the most part. I was maining. What's her name? Lifeline.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna try Mirage for a little bit, but I was using a Lifeline, which is kind of like the Mercy of
she's
this
a support
game.
character.
And yeah, they were doing super badass, and I was behind them. I got a couple kills. I was happy. I was like, wow, this
it's a satisfying game. It's a very satisfying game.
Yeah. The game has more systems that it shows you. Also, the tutorial is like really short, and it only shows you a couple of things.
The basics.
The basics. But there are some of the things that you kind of notice, like, oh, wait a minute, so the weapons are color coded to where let's say if you ever need to know what type of ammo do you need, because there's so many different ones. Let's say you have I think shotguns are brown.
Red. Aren't they
red? What could be? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Don't quote us on this. But let's say for the sake of argument, they're red.
Yeah.
And so the silhouette on your HUD for that or the background, where it'll show you your weapon, the weapon you're carrying at the moment, is red. So all you got to do is just concentrate on looking for the red thing. Yeah. You don't even have to think. Like, remember I was telling you yesterday. Oh, just look at if the ammo has the silhouette of a weapon at the very bottom. That means that you have a weapon that you can equip it to.
Yeah.
And yes, that's true.
That's for the upgrades. Yes.
For the upgrade or for the ammo. But
I didn't notice it with the ammo, but I guess so. I've been noticing the color, so that's why.
So I wasn't noticing for the color until like, oh wait a minute, yeah, of course, just color coded and that's it.
We both picked up two different ways, and both ways work. Yeah,
exactly. Just like by accident, I discovered that you can actually tag the stuff that you need if your weapon is empty. Be like, hey, I need ammo for this weapon, and then if anybody's out there, again, you can still say it if you're in the party, but if you're not and you're playing with randos, you can still get that information out there. It's
really good stuff, man.
So that was Apex Legends, a game that we will highly, well, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you. I personally will highly recommend anybody in the group listening to the sound of this voice right now to go ahead and download if you haven't already and give it a shot. I can definitely,
I'm not saying highly recommend, but I can definitely say it's a free game. It's not Fortnite. And that's not to say anything bad about Fortnite. It's just it is different.
Yeah, it is different because Fortnite
happens to have the same type of genre.
The building was the problem with Fortnite. I feel like for the most part.
Yeah, that's a skill.
Like I never got that.
Yeah, that's a skill that you. I mean, I did eventually understand it, but it's still a skill that you have to get down. But I definitely, again, it's a free game. No reason not to give it a shot.
No,
you just give it a try on that, and I would recommend that. The name, unfortunately.
Is the name and the fact that it's by EA.
I guess, but mostly the name. I give it to Respawn mostly on this for the most part. But
I don't know. I didn't think it was that. I don't think it's that terrible. I can see the issue.
The name, yeah.
I mean, but it's not worse than like Fortnite. What the hell is a Fortnite? At least I understood what Fortnite was, because Fortnite was not meant to be what it ended up being. Fortnite was about building your fort and spending the night while the zombies were like attacking and then coming out and
Fortnite saved the world.
What the Save the World basically is. So, and
technically this is just the Battle Royale is just a free spin off of that game. So
yeah,
I mean that's the only reason why it kept the name basically.
Battle Royale, Battlegrounds. If anything, that is a title that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. We also played Anthem. I played the demo of Anthem.
I think you played more than I did for that one, so I'll give you the PC perspective.
Okay.
But yeah, you can take that one for the most part.
Oh, okay. So no, I was playing on PlayStation 4, and my immediate thoughts as I was playing the game. First off, the flying is very cool. I really did enjoy the way that the character takes off. It does feel like Iron Man. There's just no doubt. It feels like exactly what Iron. The only difference, of course, is you can overheat a little bit faster than Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a little annoying, but I won't get into that.
I hope they will address that a little bit.
I hope so too.
Flying
it's like,
is so fun.
It is fun. It's like, why would I overheat?
It's basically
I don't
the
understand.
swinging mechanical. It's basically the as fun level is the swinging in Spider-Man. I feel like the flying is here.
Exactly. And that's very cool. The main one that I was doing was Ranger, and then I moved over to the Colossus. Two very different javelins, and I noticed immediately that it was like because I was playing the Ranger for so long that when I switched the first time to Colossus, it was like it was like driving on the wrong side of the road. You know what I mean? It's just like, whoa, this is it's not the same thing. The buttons that you do, because in the Ranger you can sort of do quick dodges when you hit the circle button. Not with Colossus. He doesn't do any quick dodges. He'll bring out a shield, and that felt weird to me. But after a while, I got it because it was blocking a lot, and so I was like, okay, and so I was like, okay, I can see how this is interesting. That said, what we were doing. I don't want to call it repetitious, but it really felt like it really feels like it is going to be very Destiny. You know, and it's like this feels like Destiny. You know what I mean? And hey, if that's what you're into, because hey, we all know Destiny has a huge community. So if that's the type of thing you're into, then this is definitely going to be right up your alley, especially with being in a javelin and feeling Iron Man-ish and all this stuff. The story, I wasn't really listening to the story very well, but it looks like it was well acted, or well voice acted, from what I saw, from the little bit that I saw. It did feel like you're always going back for one thing at this one and just kind of going back out on mission again. Yeah. So, but again, this is a demo, so I'm just, this is the earliest impressions on that, and I'm not buying the game, so this is going to be my only impression. Yeah. But yes, it definitely does feel like a direct game to compete
a game as service game.
Yeah, to compete with, yes, exactly. To compete with Destiny and all the other ones.
Division.
I had a couple of issues graphically and frame rate wise, especially when you turn and a lot of the action's going on. But it wasn't a game breaker or anything like that. But it was noticeable. But again, just a demo. I'm sure it's gonna have a 20 gig day one patch, because that's just the way shit is nowadays. Yeah. But that said, I enjoyed my time with it. I think those who, if anything that I just mentioned sounds like right up your alley, then you're going to really like this. Not a game for me. Not going to be a game for me at all.
I spent some time on the game, a lot less, because I planned poorly my evening. I think it was Sunday. I played on a Saturday evening, and I played up to the mission before you actually get to select your own javelin. So it was like very early.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very little. It was enough because I also ran around because I wanted to see how the game performed. And on PC, the game was performing very good. That engine was holding really well. That the Frostbite engine have kind of already been proven, on PC. So what I was looking for more was like the graphical glitches and issues with the world and stuff like that. And I happen to report that in the little bit that I played, I didn't experience that. I didn't even experience disconnection or anything like that. But then again, it was a very small.
I did have a moment when we had finished a mission, and you know how you get your stuff at the end, whatever, and it just stuck on that screen.
Oh,
I had to get out of it, and I was like, I don't know what happened. So I had to just literally. And of course, I was streaming at this point, so I had to literally stop this because you get out of the game, it stops the stream. So I was like, son of a bitch. But yeah, that only happened once for the record.
So that one, I did notice quite drastically that those menus are horrible. I like the menus in the game.
Yeah,
like
what you mean.
the HUD stuff.
I can't remember them.
It's in the. Well, actually, they stuck with me too. Like, whoa, something needs to be done about this because it's when you could tell that they over-engineered and they're trying to make them too stylish to the detriment of it.
Because I remember setting up the colors and all that weird. Actually, I didn't mind that too much. I see what you're saying, but I didn't mind it too much. But yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
For trying to do the stuff that you gotta be doing repetitively, it felt like
changing colors all the time.
Very heavy. I don't know. There was there was a heavy feel about, even the menus and selecting, like you will select something and there was almost a lag, between.
Yes, that I did remember. Yes, you selected and you're trying to move the cursor to the next thing, and it still hasn't really selected yet.
As if it's trying to load. It's trying to select.
I did notice.
Kind of reminds me of, and not to give jabs or anything like that, but it is true. The Xbox, the Xbox One interface.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Where it's kind of like, I mean, I heard it's gotten better, but I remember when I owned that thing, and you will press. It was the most unresponsive menu, to the point where I was praising Sony for the XMB, and I've never been a fan of the XMB, but I was praising Sony that at least it was responsive.
At least it works.
At least it works.
At least it responds to what I asked. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I kind of caught me, like, oh, kind of like generally like, oh, these menus are not gonna be my favorite. But the graphics, they look beautiful. The movement on what's supposed to be one of the hub areas, I guess, with the part where you're in first person. Yeah. I was moving. I consider it kind of slow, but they're going to address that. They already said that that's going to be one of the things that they're going to change. So obviously, the movement there is going to be faster. Yeah. So that's good. I kind of messed up because I wanted to like sit down and have a good playing session. Mm-hmm. So on Sunday, I did everything that I need to do, even around the house. I put everything spotless, clean. So I was like, okay, now this is my time. From now on, I'm gonna play. It's 9:00. I'm just gonna sit down, relax, and for the next few hours, I'm just gonna play and have fun. At 9:00, they close the servers. So I was like, motherfucker.
Son of a bitch. That's
so
hilarious.
there goes Anthem. There's no my chance to play Anthem and to actually get real impressions on it. Yeah. So impressions, I guess, is gonna be like, I didn't pre-order or anything like that, but I'm planning on doing what I did with Battlefield 5. So I'll spend $15 and play enough of it, to see. I was actually looking more forward towards the next game that I had the opportunity to play this week, or at least the beta of the game, which is the Division 2.
Division 2, yeah.
But boy, after trying that beta, and we're gonna jump into Division 2 now. After trying that beta, which I know it's a beta, yada yada. I know what you guys are gonna say, but man, I kind of wish that I was trying Anthem again.
I wish they would open up Anthem one more time.
Let me tell you, it was not pretty. It was rough.
Oh wow!
And I get. Here's my argument. I get this is a beta. This is exactly, what this is meant to be, to show you, a piece of gameplay, and for you to be able to actually. That's kind of fake because I don't feel like anybody that's playing this beta is reporting back the bugs that they're finding. If anything, they're complaining about them, and then they
should be reported.
The point of the beta, the point of the beta should be to report, and there should be like an in-game thing that lets you report,
which is what Sony has that already built in. And anytime any game that I'm playing, I will. It always say, hey, do you want to port? Yep, report it. Yep.
Because I feel like in this case. Betas are more like a marketing things to get you to pre-order.
Yeah, they definitely become that.
Yeah,
and
so
it's unfortunate. Yeah.
So when I tried it, my issue with this is that, excuse me, yes, it is that beta, but it is very close to release. I'm thinking they have like I think the game releases on March. I forget the date.
Sometime in the March. It's like in the middle of March.
Sometime in March. And yes, from here to there's a lot that they could do to polish. To polish the game. Mm-hmm. But from what I've seen and what I've seen in videos and
March 15.
March 15, there you go. From what I've seen in videos and my own experience, even it just feels like it almost although it wasn't this bad, mind you, but it reminded me of Fallout 76 when I tried that beta and I was like, man, this is getting released in 2 weeks and it's in this state. Like this is bad. Of course, Fallout 76.
Was horrible.
Yeah. That I'm not saying the Division 2 was nowhere at that level, but it was bad enough where you could see this game is gonna release on day one. It's gonna need a day one patch, and it's not gonna address everything. It's still gonna be buggy as hell. You're still gonna see the videos on YouTube of the silliness that happened or the exploits or the crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and but a day of release. You know, I mean, which is pretty bad because that just cements even further the Ubisoft ethos almost of just release it on whatever stage it is, and we'll fix it later.
Get it as close as possible.
Yeah,
and we will fix it.
And then at that point, I feel like, okay, well, now I don't feel like we should be giving that much credit to Ubisoft. Oh, they support their games after, you know, they keep fixing it, they keep patching it. Yeah, but it's because
at this point it's become a common thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the game is too broken at the beginning to where you're actually paying for a beta, and by the time that you get to play a stable game, it's probably a year later. People have moved on or finished the campaign or like God knows what.
Yeah, they do have. Was it them? They do have. Well, no, I know they have Anthem, but Ubisoft has already had a roadmap of what was coming up. So they're gonna have content, and you know, so it's. I don't see people moving away that quickly because of whatever content not there. Now, if it is broken, that's a whole different story.
I did from Division 1. Like, I like the idea of Division 1.
Their content was way more spaced out then.
Right. Division 1, the problem with Division 1 was that it released like on that level. It wasn't like mega broken. It was no Fallout 76. I don't think anything is.
Again, yeah, and this one isn't either. So yeah,
but it was broken enough to where it became frustrating, and then I left it. Now I'm coming back to it, like, you know what, 3 or 4 years later, and now I'm saying like, oh yeah, this game was actually like, this is what this should have been like way back when. And I'm thinking like, okay, they obviously learned from the Division 1. They're not going to make the same mistake with the Division 2, and boom, you see the exact same issues, the exact same bugs. Like, what's going on, guys? I mean, I thought you guys perfected this, you know, this thing. And my experience was hilarious because I will play the tutorial. You start almost at the front door of the White House, which is supposed to be like your base of operations. And of course, it's like all boarded up and stuff. And after a cool intro, you're left loose, and you have to fight your way through the hyenas, which is what they call the enemy force, which I think is stupid, but whatever. You fight them off, and then get to the White House and introduce yourself to your operators, whatever. The first person you're supposed to meet there. So I will play that mission. I will get to that person. The game will drop me. My connection will drop. I'm like, oh shit! Now I have to reload back. Hopefully, I'm in the White House. Nope, I'm already back at the very beginning. To it, which admittedly is not that it takes that long. You know, honestly, but the next time you go and try to do it again, I think the game still thinks that my character is inside the White House, to where the area that was open, you know, for me, which is, it shows like a truck or a van ran through it, and there's like an opening on one of the walls of the White House, and your character just like moved through it. Mm-hmm. That area somehow gets magically sealed off with a new wall where it's like,
oh wow, yeah,
where it's like, okay, where was the entrance on this? You know, how did I get here? So you see the strings.
Yeah.
And so I had to, and I was streaming this, by the way. I was streaming this on Facebook.
So there's video evidence.
There's video evidence of what I'm telling you. I was like, where is this entrance? So I figure, okay, so obviously it's broken. I need to delete this character and remake it, do another one. You can't really make a character. I mean, you will be able to design your character, but in the demo, you just have to pick from whatever random it gives you. So that's fine. So I did that. I pressed the random button a couple times until I saw, a model that I liked, and I went with it. The second time, exact same thing happens. It draws me at the same person, when it was into the cutscene, it draws me again. And by that time, I'm I'm 45 minutes in, and I'm still at the beginning. I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done. Yes. Like this shit, I'm out indeed. At that point, I am done with the experience, and I am done with the with hoping. Like, I was hoping this was gonna be like impressive enough, like because of the polish of the division as it stands right now. Mm-hmm. I was hoping that I could pick this up. And I really like the idea, of the game. I like taking cover. I like shooting the enemies, even though they're bullet spongy. But I guess nowadays everything needs to be because it's game as a service, and I guess that's the level that's what they've chosen to do.
Yep.
Because you're always trying to get better and better gear. So I was hoping the division will be at least decent enough to polish enough to where I will be confident with a day one purchase. I can't say that I wouldn't touch this game on a day one confidently because it's just not gonna be a good experience. This is another game.
I like to think that's something. I mean, not to go and give these guys credit like this because whatever, but I'd like to think that Ubisoft will have some sort of patch ready.
At some point, they'll.
At the beginning.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I like to think they can address because that's an issue.
Let's see
that's
those
a
reviews.
Clear problem.
Let's see those reviews because
I'm curious because some of them are obviously going to be early reviews before the actual game releases, and it's just like
that's fine. I mean, at that point, their experience should say. I mean, if they're on the live server, they should be indicative of what the state of the game is. If I still seeing a lot of like, oh, but there's bugs here, this is gonna be like, okay, at Division 1, forget it. I'll wait 6 months to a year. You know, there's no
it's
hurry.
A shame,
There's no hurry. Let them beta test all they want. You know, unfortunately, this is disappointment because of the games that were coming out, the Anthem and
the Division was yours.
Division was the one where I was putting my
your chips,
my flag. Yeah, exactly. Hoping that Ubisoft. They definitely learned the lesson, right?
Wow.
I tried to see if by the way, just my a little bit of Resident Evil 2. Yeah, I'm done with that. So, so anyway, that is all I have been playing.
Awesome. Well, that's actually what I've been playing. I played a little bit of Resident Evil 2. I'm a little bummed because I really, really, really want to go back. I'm enjoying the hell of it. I know it's not for you. I get it. But I am enjoying
Stupid Mr. X. Fuck that guy.
Mr. X is a dumbass, dude. He's not hard to get around.
It's ruined my experience. He is
that's so
no
funny.
fun.
He is, well, no, he's not supposed to be fun. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah. Heaven forbid a game is fun. I mean,
no, he's not supposed to be fun.
He being part of the game. I mean,
I just want to quickly bring up two things that I finished watching in one day, and that was The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. Which
I don't know nothing about The Haunting of Hill House. Please tell me about it.
Haunting of Hill House is actually based on a book from like the 60s. It was a horror story book, and it's actually well regarded. They've actually made two films. One regular and then the remake, both called The Haunting, but both based on that book. And then, of course, Netflix made this little miniseries, 10-episode series, which seems to lead that there's going to be another season, but I don't know how that's possible because this was a pretty complete story.
Did they close the book?
It completes from what I got, yes. So what it is essentially, it's an interesting story. So this a wife and a husband and their 5 kids. They buy this house, the Hill House, which is this huge mansion type thing in Massachusetts. The purpose of it is to flip it and sell it, right? What they're going to do is they're going to stay in the house during the summer when kids are obviously out of school and fix it throughout the summer so that it can be done. And of course, they're expecting to make money because it's such a big property, blah, 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 blah. And unfortunately, Hill House is of the devil. Okay.
It's a hell house.
It is a hell house.
It's not a hill house, it's a hell
correct,
house.
Yes. It has some really creepy moments. And it has some of the... So I'm not a big fan of jump scares in general because they feel cheap. Yeah. But when they are done right, when it is earned, I'm cool with it. I'm one of those like, man, you fucking got me. I
don't like him. I don't like any jump scares.
So I think...
But I can see what you mean.
I think... Well, I'm not going to get into what it was, but it was well earned in the sense that what was happening at the moment was something you've been desiring to hear now for a few episodes. So you're all into what's being said. And then, of course, boom, shit hits the fan. And you're like, whoa. You know. So anyway, I think the one thing that that show has that I didn't expect is an actual good family drama story. Which when you think horror, the last thing you're thinking is a story. It's like it's
family story. No,
yeah, exactly.
Half of them are gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. it's done to the sense that you care about all the characters. You do want to see what happens to them. The episode 6, I think it was my favorite. I ended up watching it twice because I think the entire episode were 2 or 3 long continuous shots.
Oh wow!
Which included moments of just dread and fear, and it's just like these. I don't know how they're doing this. The camera is not like cutting away.
Yeah.
It's just following them throughout the whole thing, and everyone is acting just the way you need to. It's well written.
Wow.
It's well acted, and I'm just like, this is a
On one
show
shot,
about
that's
horror.
impressive,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So very impressed with that. I definitely recommend it, especially if you like horror. It had some really creepy moments, and my only issue was it didn't quite stick the landing. Not that it was a bad ending, but some which I guess is typical with a lot of horror things. By the time you get to the end, it's not as scary anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was a little long-winded. Like this, it was 10 episodes. It could have been 8.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Or should have been 8.
So what you're saying is that at some point Mr. X comes in, makes an appearance.
Yes.
And then the whole show takes a turn.
It's funny you say that. That's all I'm gonna say. It's funny you mention a Mr. X.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a character with a hat that is really just unnerving. It's just like son of a bitch.
Mr. X is unnerving. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed it and definitely recommend it. And the last thing, I haven't finished this, but I did start it, and that is the Persona 5, the animation. Started watching this on Hulu.
This is a series?
And let me tell you, I only watched, like, I put on the first episode. Let me just see. Let me see what the fuck this is about. You know what I mean? It is the game. It is literally the game in anime form. Okay, it starts off at the casino. He gets caught by the cops. You're being interrogated. The same music. You know, and it's all, and then of course you have the Velvet Room.
The Velvet Room. Yeah, which has been the Velvet Room of all the games.
Yeah. So and of course the music as you're meeting with a Ryuji and all this stuff. The entire dude, it is the game. And then at some point I realized I'm like 4 or 5 episodes in. And I'm going, I really like this. This is actually a lot of fun.
No judgment from here. I do have to ask you a question.
Yes.
Does at any point Ryuji goes, for reals?
No, not even in Japanese.
Oh no, then
but he does yell. He does a lot of yelling.
Oh, that's right. He probably does it. It's just it's
they're not saying
Japanese.
For real. Yeah. And so he so it's definitely so far this is spoilers for Persona 5 if you know. 5. But right up in the story right now where we're about to go back in to get the we've already done what we needed to do to make the oh my god Kamadura the first guy, the gym guy the first boss.
The guy's name is
Kama something. It doesn't matter. The point is he's a gym teacher.
He's a gym teacher.
Yeah, he's a gym teacher who is obviously evil. He beats his student, and let me tell you, he there's a scene. Remember the girl who almost kills herself?
Right. Yes.
Or tries to kill herself, whatever, which is a friend of Anne's.
Oh yeah.
And so, dude, it was like showing like he was just knocking her around. I'm going, whoa, this is real, you know. And so
you really hate this guy as you hated it on the game.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
which was, admittedly, that the point in the game. It's very early in the game. And it's what cemented like, oh my God, we're going in for a wild ride.
Yep.
This is exactly the type of game I told Arnaldo this was gonna be. This is awesome. He's gonna love it. And then later on, the game it just falls apart. There was so misery, unfortunately.
So you meet the guy.
So maybe you stop watching after this episode.
No, actually, I can't wait to get to that point because now I don't have to actually play it. Just watch what happens. I don't have to worry about getting through it. But no, I'm actually enjoying it. It is so weird though. It's so weird to see it. And it's in Japanese for the record. There's no English dub. It's only subtitles. Which I'm fine with. But it's just like so odd to see it. I'm like, man, this is really cool. And again, the entire soundtrack that you know. So this is what I can't wait because I know that the next time we go back into the palace, it's that cool song that they play when you go into attack. You know, the final.
When things about to go.
And I'm like, I can't wait.
It's gonna get real now.
I can't wait.
Get real.
So yes, that's on Hulu. Persona 5. If you're interested in Persona,
I have Hulu.
Yeah, there you go. You need to check it out.
Awesome.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I've been doing.
Little buddy, this is gonna be bad.
This can go 2 ways, punk. 1, you walk away. 2, I walk on your face.
Huh?
Your choice. Say hi to your friends, punk.
All right, guys. It is now time for our trailer of the week.
Trailer of the week.
Yes, trailer of the week.
My big recipe boys. Put it in your mouth. And
Jesus
suck it and
Christ.
suck it.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac Hayes, also known as Chef. And no, I do not need your chocolate salty balls. Thank you so much. Trailer of the week, guys, is a little title called Shaft.
Shaft.
2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yes,
Shaft 2.
Shaft 2, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course,
Shaft
bringing
is back.
Yes, he is back. Bringing back Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And apparently there is a Shaft Jr. In the mix. Although if you
Jr.
Yeah, if you remember the first one, you realize that this Samuel Jackson was already a junior.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
But that said, yes, we just saw the trailer. It definitely has a little bit more of a comedic angle.
I think it went a lot more comedic rather than that, which I'm a little worried.
It could be just a trailer. You know, they trailer highlighting some of the humorous moments. But yeah, I don't remember the first one being. I mean, the first one had its humorous moments, but was not comedic, especially if you remember correctly. The well, I guess we can call him the antagonist was Christian Bale.
Oh yeah,
he was the guy who killed the black guy in like a I don't remember. They had a scuffle outside and he ended up killing him, and that's what got Shaft on. Yeah. And Christian Bale, man, that dude can be. That dude can be evil. He can play evil.
He can be a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
But yeah, this one I wouldn't see if there was an antagonist. However, they did. You know, like I said, they really focused on the comedy here.
They brought it. It was my first impression. I was like, I don't remember Shaft one being this level of silliness, you know, almost to where comedy takes precedence over the action, because Shaft was a really badass movie, you know, it was really cool, and I feel like this one's a little bit on the sillier side, but let's see. I still enjoy the trailer
was funny,
the trailer was funny,
I'll give it that,
and I mean Samuel Jackson, you already know what to expect,
you know what to get from him.
Let's be real.
It felt a little like oh gosh, what is the Rush Hour? Felt a little Rush Hour-ish, you know what I mean? So sounds like okay. Which again, I don't mind. You know, Rush Hour had its action, it had its whatever, but we'll see how it was. But yeah, that was there wasn't really there was not very good trailers throughout the week.
No,
and this one kind of snuck in.
Trailer,
recently,
it's just of stuff that we already knew. So seeing this one,
and then of course Child's Play, which we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, Chucky's back. He's a robot now.
Of course.
Have a good day.
That makes all the sense in the world, right? All right, guys, and now we're going to go into the Mouthful's Fresh Pick.
I still don't have an actual jingle.
I think that's the one
Damn, we're going to have to start paying someone to do some jingles on this. You know what? Insert something here.
Because that was just horrible.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Thank you.
I mean, not for nothing. Just horrible. All right, so I'm just going to, again, normally stick to the bigger names that we have heard of.
And you are inserting the Wii music on the...
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Especially since it's open domain now, because it's no longer there.
This is true.
The Wii store.
So Tuesday, of course, this little, we'll call it the construction company simulator. It's called Apex Legends. Came out. That's what it sounds like. Let's be real. Apex Legends came out on. I'm sorry. Apex Legends actually came out on Monday. My bad.
Oh, it did. The 4th.
I guess it was early. February 4th.
Okay.
Along with Magic Nations on the Switch. Tuesday had nothing that I recognize. However, there's a game that I'm going to bring up because it comes out several times. Away, Journey to the Unexpected comes out on PS4 on Tuesday. The Mage's Tale on PS4 also on Tuesday. And Evoland Legendary Edition, didn't realize it was a non-legendary edition, came out on Tuesday. Wednesday saw Salt and Sanctuary come out to Xbox One. That's a good one.
Oh, wow.
The Observer came to the Switch.
Nice.
39 Days to Mars on Xbox One. Pipe Rush on PlayStation 4. Riot Civil Unrest. That's an interesting name. That's why I brought that up.
Riot, civil unrest.
Also known as
a riot is so basically giving you what a riot is and the definition.
yes, civil unrest. Yes, also known as America 2019.
There you go.
Coming to Xbox One and Switch. Thursday saw again Away Journey to the Unexpected come out on Switch, which this is weird. Blaze Blue Central Fiction comes out to the Switch. Fear of Bugs, the Fear Experience, comes to PlayStation VR, and let me tell you, that sounds like the scariest shit I've ever.
That is masochistic right there.
There's just no way I would ever play that.
Why? Who is sadistic enough to? Yeah, no,
I don't get that. That's crazy. And then Friday today,
maybe it'll be too buggy.
It could be.
It could be very buggy. Yeah.
They're definitely complaining about them. I can see it happening. Friday today has the long-awaited God Eater 3 comes to PlayStation 4.
Yes, the long-awaited.
It's been talked about forever. It's like it's all over. It's like I really feel like this came out already.
The game has it has its fan.
It does have its fan.
It's definitely super anime. What Monster Hunter? As if Monster Hunter wasn't anime enough.
Yeah.
This is take it to the extreme and.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck that game.
Glass Masquerade, Switch, Xbox One, and finally the third version, Away Journey to the Unexpected, comes out to Xbox One. This game gets released in the same week on three different platforms, but 3 different days. It's like, what the hell, man?
It wants to have people talking about it.
Get your shit together, sir. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. And then finally, City of Brass on Switch. So the fresh pick, of course, Mouthful's fresh pick, will obviously be Construction Builder 2000, also known as Apex Legends.
Also known as Titanfall 3 that you're not getting.
The Titanfall 3 game that you will not be getting, guys. However, I will special shout out to Salt and Sanctuary. That is a very good game, and it is awesome that Xbox One players will finally get it. Get it. Do not miss out.
Get it. Get it. Get it. Don't stop. Get it. Get it.
Oh, sorry. All right, guys, moving on to some news items. Apex Legends, that game that I mentioned just a moment ago. Yeah. Roadmap shows 4 seasons of events. This is, of course, coming by Polygon. Apex Legends was a surprise launch on February 4th and already has over 1 million unique players. This, of course, was on February 6th. It's already surpassed that number. And Respawn's opening blitz of trailers, they show off a gameplay deep dive. Redditors also spotted a roadmap for the game's first year of content. Starting in March, players will be able to purchase a battle pass for Apex Legends. This is very similar to Fortnite's example, with new skins and levels that can be earned only through the battle pass. These passes will run for an entire season. Season 1 runs through June, while Season 2 when Season 2 starts. The season's last 3 months. What the hell? Oh, the seasons last 3 months. Excuse me. I'm reading that wrong.
It lasts 3 months.
It's 3 months long. Jesus, come on, guys. With a final season of year 1 of ending in December. But new items and legends being the characters, will also be coming with each season. Aside from the battle pass itself, the roadmap suggests the new legends, weapons, and loot will all be added every season, which should add another layer of strategy to the ever-changing meta, excuse me. It's currently unclear how these items will roll out, whether it's all going to be content front-loaded the day 1 of the season, or if it will be spread out through the 3 months. With the first season starting in March, we should know a bit more of the plans soon. And there's a nice little map here, or image here of the
roadmap.
Of the roadmap
which
itself,
is going to be posted on the...
In the group, yes. I'm going to take a screenshot of this and post this on the group. Season 1 begins March 31st.
Oh my God, that's around the corner.
Yes, it is around the
corner.
That's
exciting.
It is.
See,
Season
that's
2,
scary. That's scary because if the game ends up grabbing a hold of me for a while, I can see myself definitely plunking down.
How much do you think the battle pass was? And what's the Fortnite battle pass? Like $10?
$10.
I mean, if it's that much,
at that price, that's again price right, which is so on EA. I can see I can see myself like, I'll put $10. And genius also because say you're playing this game for a year, which I don't see myself doing in the sense of that's not my type of that's not the way that I play games. But yeah, that's $120. that they will get again the Fortnite formula, which has been working very, very well for them.
No, the season pass is $10 for the season, which is 3 months. So there's only $40 for the year.
Oh wait, so what is it What is it that they're doing monthly?
Nothing.
Oh, so
the season itself is 3 months long.
Oh, then dude, then okay, then
And
yeah, I would definitely be down with doing that.
For the record,
$40?
we are assuming it's $10. I'm just assuming that.
I heard the report, but yeah, exactly. We're not super clear on that. It could be like the game has definitely ballooned up to the point where EA could be looking at, so
it's amazing.
We can make this $20 a season or more because it's EA.
Yeah,
I wouldn't surprise.
Hence the reason.
It is. It is. Exactly. There is a potential here for like messing up something good. But if they're smart,
I gotta say this. And I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry, but I gotta say this. Right now they have total player count is just over 10 million. Right. If half of those people buy a pass at $10, you have made what? 10 times 5.
Yeah, it is. We're bad at math, but
50 million.
50 million? Yeah,
right. Yeah, 50 million.
I don't know. You guys can correct us. We don't care if the math's good or not.
I'm just saying $15 for the season.
It's a whole lot of money.
Correct. Just immediately and just like that. Battle Royale game.
That's how you. Yeah, exactly. That's how you do a small barrier of entry.
Yeah.
Because I'll be super down with giving $10. Sure. What's that? That's
that's not even including whatever you buy separately.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Which I don't like. I don't like the idea of spending money for the skins and stuff like that. Just because I feel like it takes away from. Okay, so it takes away from the progression. I like to progress so I can get this particular skins because it's the ones I like. By the way, there's a really cool ass skin that we saw for a sniper rifle, which was basically modeled. It was called the Warp Zone.
Yes,
and it's modeled like if it was the
NES
Nintendo light gun.
Yeah, the NES blaster.
But with attachments and equipment and controllers and stuff.
Pretty cool,
It even had the cable that
had a Mega Man thing on it.
It had
which makes me
visor.
Go, how did they get away with that?
On the visor, there's a Mega Man.
Yeah.
There is. I also noticed. The name of the robot. I forgot his name. The robot guy.
Oh, in the game. Yeah.
In the game. That we'll
call him Bastion because.
Yeah, exactly. Because he reminds you of Bastion, right? And you know that Bastion has a pose on Overwatch, which is like him posing and with a little birdie, like nested on his finger, something like that. Yeah. So there's a thing almost like an homage to that where it shows this guy trying to do the same thing, but the birdie then becomes very aggressive and it starts like attacking him. He was like,
that's awesome.
He started attacking, and it looks at it's so good. Play Apex.
That's definitely
play Apex.
Play Apex.
So I have people to play with. But yeah, if they mess it up with $40
by screwing it up by going all EA on it.
Yeah. So I guess I will apologize in advance. My news, that thing where I collect all the news, kind of took a crap. And now I don't have the actual news items that I wanted to bring up. What I have is a bunch of links. So I need to read the links one by one to see which one I want to talk about.
Just start from the top.
And which one? No, because they're not in the order that I want. That I don't mention everything. All right, let's start with this one because I thought this was interesting enough. So if you guys remember, CD Projekt Red and the original author and creator of the Witcher books. I can't pronounce his name. And
I think it's Andrzej
Sapkowski.
Sapkowski, yeah.
Okay, there we go. There we go. What was the thing that happened? He sold the rights.
He sold the rights to CD Projekt Red,
right?
For a very, very small nominal amount, and he didn't care.
Well, he thought that would have been the right amount because you guys are not going to be able to do anything with it.
Because he wasn't able to do anything with the project, with the property itself. So he's like, whatever, you guys.
But the books, but
but the books were popular in Poland.
In Poland,
you know what I'm saying? So this game became popular around the world.
Much
different things. So he, and of course, giving up the rights. And so he was suing him because now it's so big. He felt like, well, I kind of deserve more than the measly. I think it was like less than 10 grand.
Yeah,
something like that.
It was, yeah. I think it was a pittance compared to what that property ended up making for CD Projekt Red. Basically,
yeah, absolutely.
And of course, so this author ended up wanting more money, obviously, than they I think it went to court. He was suing, right? Yeah, he was suing CD Projekt Red for basically demanding payments that he was not owed because he already sold the property for a specific amount.
Mm-hmm.
And now, of course, now the CD Projekt Red made huge on the Witcher franchise. Now he wants his cut. And I was like, you know what? This fine. You obviously didn't respect your IP enough to give it away just like that. And good on them. CD Projekt Red owes you nothing, But evidently, what ended up happening is that CD Projekt Red ended up caving in, ended up. They say the way they put it. And by the way, this is via Kama Sutra. He says, as reported by the WCC Tech. The policy developer will offer the author further compensation in a bid to preserve an amicable working relationship. To the figures apparently won't be near the $16 million that Sapkowski initially requested. Sapkowski originally agreed to sell the rights to the book series to CD Projekt Red back in 1997, turning down a profit-sharing deal in favor of a cash deal. So, in other words, this could have gone well for him if he would have accepted a profit sharing deal. But he thought, this guy won't be able to do anything with this. No, I want my cash in advance. And he took whatever amount it was, back then. And again, largely because he didn't think the studio will find success in the world of video games. In his decisions, it's a decision he since has come to regret. He explained in a rather frank Eurogamer interview posted back in 2017. Says, they offer me a percentage for the profit. I say, no, there will not be a profit at all. Give me all of my money right now, the whole amount, commented Sapkowski. It was stupid. I was stupid enough to leave everything in their hands because I didn't believe in their success. Who could have foreseen their success? I couldn't. Then that was a foresight on your part, know?
Yeah.
I feel
agree,
like
you gave up the rights, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason why I feel this is bad is because now you're setting a precedent. Now you're setting a precedent where you have you have let's say a contract, or who knows, maybe that was the problem. Maybe the problem was that there was no contract. But I feel like
that's what I think it was. Yeah.
I never saw the report that said like that, because if it would have been a case where
true, but if there was a contract, then that would be the first thing that gets presented. Like, no,
that's true. Yeah.
Why hide that?
Yeah.
However,
that's true.
I will go out. I'll remember this story coming out before, early on when he first brought up the lawsuit, and he said one of the CD Projekt Red spokespersons said at that time that we are looking into what we can do. We have a working relationship with Andrei Sapkowski, and we do not want to ruin that. So while I agree, it does kind of set a precedence. I think it's an interesting situation because they are still working. I don't think The Witcher is gone forever. You know what I mean? So it's still something that they can work in the future. And he would, I'm saying, they don't want to step on that relationship, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand. And they said this early on before this settlement ever came out. This is right. We're looking into it because of this and this and that. But I do think they didn't really have a contract. And
I don't feel they had a working relationship. I mean, they might be saying that now, but I don't think this was something that, let's keep him as a consultant, So
no, I don't think he was.
Like, I think this was, this guy is admitting this was stupid. I was stupid, Yeah, you were,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, be that as it may, I guess the guy will be getting something, after all. And yeah, happy justice, I guess. But I still think this is a dangerous precedent to set, because then this could actually turn into a battle for other cases where property has been sold. and suddenly that property is successful, and now, but
Yeah.
wait a minute, I didn't think they were gonna be that successful, so now I want my cut, as if you deserved it. You know?
True. But I think these will essentially create lessons for when that happens. Hey, we need to get this in writing.
Well, if you don't get, that's true. That could actually, and in this case, also they could be avoiding, I guess, the bad press also, and also going the litigious route. They might not give in 16 million just to be just to say that no, it won't be that. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure it's going to be compensation enough to where the guy will be pleased. He'll be quiet.
I mean, he's in Poland,
and
so if they give him,
and that's a bit, and whatever they give, I mean, even the 60 million would have been nothing for. He's probably right when you consider the success they've had. So
absolutely.
So yeah.
All right, my next story, guys, is an interesting one. Not sure if you've heard this, but Xbox Live is coming to the iOS and Android.
Oh, snap.
And the Nintendo Switch.
What?
Yes. Microsoft
and the PlayStation.
No.
Damn you, Sony.
I'm not even, who knows? I mean, I even brought it up to Sony.
That will be the day that hell freezes over.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you.
Microsoft plans to expand Xbox Live to other platforms, including the Nintendo Switch and mobile. The company says bringing the network to more consoles will enable game developers to connect players between iOS, Android, and Switch, in addition to Xbox One and any game on the Microsoft Store or on Windows PC.
So it's all about cross-platform then?
Correct. The move was teased in the description for an upcoming session at GDC, where the plans will presumably be revealed in more detail. The session, titled Xbox Live, Growing and Engaging Your Gaming Communities Across iOS, Android, Switch, Xbox, and PC, will include details on the expansion, which Microsoft says will take Xbox Live to over 2 billion devices with the release of its new cross-platform Xbox development kit. Now, I don't know what this means as far as the Switch. With the mobile, I can probably understand. I mean, I'm not sure you're going to be able to play Xbox games on mobile. What do you think this interface can do, especially on the Switch? With Switch, let's be real. Switch is a cool piece of tech, but it is a very low end tech. So, what can it possibly mean for?
I can see when you're talking about development of developing the Xbox Live ecosystem for Nintendo Switch and mobile. I'm thinking of basically like I mentioned, cross-platform between those platforms. Okay. The first,
so more like if you have the game on Switch and you have the game on Xbox, they're both talking to each other.
They're both talking to each other. You're both working on the same ecosystem, kind of like when you play Xbox games on PC, and you get an achievement, for example, you show the achievement there, but it'll show in the whole profile in your Xbox Live profile. So it doesn't tell you.
Maybe more like an app that'll be.
It'll be like an app. Yeah, definitely. They're not taking over the interface. It's not gonna be like
No. I didn't think that was gonna be.
No, I know, but this is not something that I think Nintendo will be averse to. It's all it's presenting is the game. It'll show, whatever game is, Xbox published maybe or developed or whatnot, bringing it to mobile, like Minecraft, for example. That was a perfect example. That's the easiest example to think about, right? Because that's available everywhere, even on Sony. But I don't think Xbox Live is going to be on Sony. But
I don't think so either.
But in this case, this is not considered like a direct competitor, I guess. I can see it opening that.
It does beg the question. This year, 2019, our year of the Lord 2019.
Our year of the Lord 2019.
It's going to be very quiet when it comes to Sony, right? Because they're not going to be at E3. We don't know if they're going to have a PlayStation experience.
There's a couple games that we know that
we do know those games coming out, but nothing big is going to happen.
Right.
And of course, Microsoft and Nintendo are at GDC. They're talking. They're doing stuff together. That is an interesting team up between the two. Yes, I got it because of the original, whatever, but it seems it's not a one-off thing. And I think that, That spells
makes you wonder.
that spells a little possible danger for Sony if they're not going to start playing ball with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not trying to be all negative here, but
Yeah.
it just,
No, but I know what you mean.
it's an interesting thought where it didn't just stop at, hey, we're going to cross-play Fortnite with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it would have just stopped at that, then hey, that's good. But it's not. They're bringing Xbox Live. What do you think of the possibility of something Nintendo suddenly appearing on an Xbox console? You know what I mean?
Something oh shit.
It's
wow.
like that would be extremely interesting. And man, let me tell you, Sony's gonna be, they're gonna be asked out essentially. If they don't start playing. So I mean, I don't know if that it's gonna happen. That's probably because Nintendo's very protective of their
That's
stuff
why
anyway.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the reason I doubt it is because in this case, Nintendo is it is and should be protective of its software because it's the only thing that they have. They're not obviously not competing in the power of the system. They're competing in the fact that this system has a lot of amazing titles. And they play well enough and greatly to where people are okay with it not being a Sony, as powerful as Sony or as powerful as Microsoft. So I don't see it going that route, going from Nintendo titles. For example, suddenly you'll be able to play something on.
I mean, maybe not something current.
No.
But you never know. Something that's
like
old.
some of the classic. Who knows? I mean, who knows?
You
It'll be
don't know,
exciting.
yeah.
Something like that will be an E3 like blockbuster.
Let me tell
even
you.
if they say something,
And
even if it's as little as. And now you can play, Mario or the 8-bit and NES games.
Wow,
that would still be that
would be a megaton.
Yeah, that would be a megaton still.
Several megatons.
Yes,
because that's something that I never thought. It's like I'm just spitballing here, but it's just like, well, I never thought Xbox would be on anything Nintendo. But evidently that's happening. So, what else craziness can happen? And of course, Microsoft has been sitting around boasting about, "Ooh, this is going to be a big E3. We're going all out." And I'm like, son of a bitch. Sony, I don't know if that was a good idea. Just saying.
Remember back in the day where
silence is not golden always.
No. Remember in the days of the 16-bit wars where we would look at Mario and Sonic, and there was no way in 1,000 years that our mind would comprehend Sonic being on a Nintendo platform. Like it made no sense. It was ridiculous. It was as ridiculous as having the next Uncharted an Xbox One exclusive. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yes, it made as much sense. And yet it happened.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
To see that, it's like I wouldn't bet. Like if we were to bet on E3 announcements, I wouldn't bet on that. And if you won with that, I would probably play a bad game for you. That is the level of incredulousness that I have.
Yeah, but let me tell you, that is so pie in the sky, it's unreal. It's just no. I'm just saying that is a very interesting step that's been taken. It seems to be that they are very friendly with each other right now.
Right.
And this can obviously be something bad for Sony, who is not being, not want to say not being friendly, but they're definitely not being courteous.
Super courteous with everybody. So I think the last time they gave us something was fine. You guys want to let them have cake.
Yeah, that was funny. With the Fortnite thing, it's like, fine. Yeah,
let them do it. Yeah. Fine,
So,
we'll do the cross.
I mean,
fine,
frankly, Epic painted them into that corner, which is freaking hilarious. But yeah, so anyway, that's an interesting story. Obviously, more to come on that. GDC, I think, is happening this week as we speak. So,
is it?
Yeah. Is it this week or next week? Something like that. Yeah.
I didn't know. Oh, that's right. That's almost like a micro E3.
It is specifically for
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what I'm not excited about is this news that I heard. So Battlefield 5 sales didn't meet expectations during the third quarter, says EA.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
This is coming courtesy of VG247. Says delaying Battlefield 5 to a heavily congested November calendar didn't work out as planned, according to EA. During its third quarter fiscal year 2019 call to investors on the evening that it happened, EA said Battlefield 5 sales were below expectations. According to the company's COO and CFO, Blake Jorgensen, moving Battlefield 5 to a pack calendar was just one reason it didn't sell as well as we hoped. The combination of a poor start, a longer development cycle, and millions still playing Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4 will also contributing factors to the lower than expected sales, said CEO Andrew Wilson. Battlefield 1 currently has nearly 4 million monthly active users, and Battlefield 4 has nearly 2 million. And then the quote by Wilson says, "We made some decisions on launch time and key features of these games that were felt more Sorry, let me start again. We made some decisions on launch timing and key features of this game that we felt would improve the game's quality and experience. For context, Battlefield 5 was designed from the beginning to offer a long-term live service. In August, we determined that we needed some more time for a final adjustment to the core gameplay to fully deliver on the potential of the live service. So we moved the ship date to November to accommodate those goals. Unfortunately, the latter release date meant that the game launched deeper into a competitive holiday window where heavy price discounting was a big factor. In addition, we also made the decision to prioritize other features, including a single-player experience at launch over the multiplayer mode. So, let me not miss this because this was actually interesting that they actually acknowledge. They say, this year, Battle Royale modes became incredibly popular in shooter games. Actually, that was last year, Jorgensen, but welcome to 2018. That was in 2017, actually, I said. As a result of these decisions, we struggled to gain momentum and we did not met our sales expectations for the quarter. So, I played Battlefield 5. Mm-hmm. I found that it was okay. You know, it was like I didn't care about the single player campaign as much as I cared for the Battlefield 1, and I was looking for the campaign on this one just because they were. My understanding was that they were taking a little bit some liberties. On it, and unfortunately, it was kind of disappointing. Like the whole game overall was disappointing. I feel like I don't think Battlefield. I think this is an inherent problem with annualization. Again, if you're making a game that you're meant to have as a live service, but you're not letting it breathe like a live service. By the time that people are playing, you're already wanting us to switch
up to the next one.
To the next one. And I think like they acknowledge that, but it keeps happening. Then it's the definition of insanity. Then you guys are crazy. You guys don't know.
When you're repeating something, you're repeating something looking for a different outcome.
Exactly. This keeps happening over and over, and we keep telling you. Even as a fan of Battlefield of the Battlefield series, we don't need a Battlefield every year. We don't need any game on an annual basis. No game should be released on an annual basis because I feel like that's too short to actually enjoy what it has. Not to mention
Call of Duty proves that wrong every year.
Does it though?
Because it was one of the highest selling games that year.
At some point, but you can only ride that train so far. You can say that same thing about Tony Hawk. And where's Tony Hawk now? And the same thing with
until it fails though, literally until it crashes and burns and fails. Or at least, actually, it doesn't even have to crash and burn and fail. It just has to sell under what they were expecting.
Well, here it is.
But I know I'm talking about Call of Duty.
Well, Call of Duty is the same thing. No. Call of Duty has been underdeveloped. This one
has not. Yes, but it has not suffered in sales. Until it suffers in sales.
Right. It has sold less than previous years.
Yes, but it's still selling the most.
It's still selling. Yeah, right.
So when you're still on top every year. Okay, and then this year your hill is smaller than last year. Sure, it's not as great as last year, but we're still on top.
Yeah. Then what the hell is complaining? Because I'm hearing the game sold 7.3 million during the first quarter. Is that bad? Since when 7.3 million? $60 fucking game. Oh no, I'm sorry. Most of them are actually $120 versions of stuff like that.
True, yeah.
When is that?
It's not bad.
Poor expectations.
It's not bad.
Only according to EA.
Correct. Well, I mean, I don't have a business degree. Obviously, I don't have any degree or anything like that. But when you so this is just quick little knowledge I know. When a company sets an expectation for something, then they base their spending on that income that they're expecting to come back.
Right.
So if they expected to have 9 million units sold, 9 million at $60, whatever, that income is what projected income is what they're working with. That's their working. It goes, we're going to get that as soon as it releases. Delays obviously hurt that. And then obviously hitting under that number also hurts it because you've been spending money you actually don't actually have. Now, technically, when you're still making billions of dollars, it's not really that big a deal.
Right.
But investors are the ones who are spending money on your
they don't seeing
exactly.
lower numbers because even though it's not a big deal of the all, but it's still their money.
Correct.
And they're seeing less money on their pocket.
Exactly. So so while I get it to the average Joe, it's whatever. You made the 7.3 million units. Stop complaining.
Yeah.
Whose fault it is? You didn't release the battle royale mode. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You didn't complete your game. You released it.
That's your own fault. Yeah.
Yes. And people they're demonstrating already, shooter fatigue to the point where here comes this new type of game. It's still a shooter, but it's a different take on a shooter. And now that's the fad. Everybody's going towards that. At some point, that's going to fade also.
Yeah.
But I guess
it's going to be interesting because you're going to have that, or EA currently has Apex Legends. EA will have Anthem in like less than 2 weeks. And then eventually Battlefield 5 will release whatever the mode is called, the Battle Royale mode. I wonder if that's going to just come out to...
I'm not sure if that will be enough for Battlefield itself, considering now that they also brought in that would be a sweet revenge, right?
It's the weirdest thing. Yes, exactly.
That would be a sweet revenge. Like Titanfall randomly
Titanfall Battle Royale comes out to no fanfare.
Nobody's
like a month later, they have maybe a couple thousand concurrents. You
remember when you did this to Titanfall 2?
Exactly. That'll be great. That would be great. Oh man, that'll be awesome.
Dude, it's EA. Stop cannibalizing your own titles.
Honestly, we'll get.
There's a lot more, months in the calendar. Don't release your shit in November at the same time
with all this other stuff. Yes,
exactly.
We'll get into more of what the hell's going on with EA. Of course, a little later on the show.
Yeah.
My next news piece, guys. Monster Hunter World.
Oh yeah.
Players can now roleplay as Geralt of Rivia as part of Capcom and CD Projekt Red's collaboration event based on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Nice.
The first part of the crossover is available right now to Monster Hunter World players who have reached Hunter rank 16, a quest line known as.
So that means this is not open for anybody. You have to be up level.
I'm like in the 30s, so I'm fine.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's not crazy. Okay, yeah. I was thinking that you had to really grind and play.
Well, to be 16, you're gonna have to be in there a little bit.
Hours,
so it's not. I have 120 something hours in the game.
Of course.
A quest line known as Trouble in the Ancient Forest sends Geralt on a hunt to kill a Leshen using the Witcher's Silver Sword and spells known as signs. Completing the quest will earn players the following: Witcher-themed special items, resources for crafting Geralt's armor and weapon set, and I'm already loving this, a unique Necker skin and weapon for your Palico companion, as well as new gestures, titles, pose, and, of course, a guild card background. On February 15th, another Witcher-themed event will be available in Monster Hunter World for players who have reached Hunter rank 50.
Oh, shoot. The
Woodland Spirit multiplayer event will send Geralt and friends after a more powerful beast called the Ancient Leshen, which I remember these. This is a forest creature in the game of Witcher, which they're pretty cool. That limited time contract event will be available through March 1st. So essentially you have from now to March 1st.
to level up
to level 50. Oh, Jesus. That's not going to happen. Completing the Woodland Spirit contract will reward players with resources needed to craft series armor and weapon set. All that Witcher 3 content is available today on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One versions of the game. Windows PCs will get access to it at an unspecified date.
Lol, PC gamers.
Sorry, PC.
You're not getting Monster Hunter. You're not the primary thing for...
Get your ass a console. You'll be fine.
Although, I'm glad to hear that they finally released a patch that addresses some of the issues. Well, the issues we kind of expected on PC, like 21 by 9 support is already part of of it, which is one of the reasons why I was like, nah, I'm not gonna get this game because A, I already have it, and B, there's really, I mean, yes, it's gonna, it runs super smooth and whatever, but it's still, it's still, it's not a great console port,
I started re-downloading it. I've probably already downloaded now as I speak, but I was as soon as I saw that, I was like, yep,
I'm
gotta
doing
do
that.
this. Gotta do it. I already own it.
invite you to
I
play
already own
Apex,
it.
damn it, because you better be there, my squatty.
Whatever.
Better be there.
I'm sorry, but a Witcher's duty.
Which is old, bro. Which is
Whatever.
okay. Welcome to 2013.
What are you talking about? That was like 2014?
15?
15. Yeah,
Okay, there you go. All right. 2019 now. Okay, with the program.
Oh, yeah. I guess that is 4 years. Okay.
So, Microsoft Studios is no more. Long live Xbox Game Studios. So Microsoft has rebranded its game development arm to Xbox Game Studios. The division was most recently known as Microsoft Studios and Microsoft Game Studios before that. And the name change reflects how Xbox has developed its own name recognition in the almost 2 decades since Microsoft launched its first console. Corporate Vice President Matt Booty joined Larry Major Nelson Herb on an Inside Xbox live stream to reveal the name change, which explained is more in line with today's mission of the Xbox team. And the quote from Mr. Booty is, as we have expanded on our focus beyond the console, the Xbox brand has also evolved from its original roots. Today, Xbox is our gaming brand across all devices, no matter how or where you want to play or who do you want to play with. So this kind of goes in line, actually, with what you were mentioning of, hey.
The Xbox Live is going over to the Switch.
Yeah.
It's going to go over to,
Suddenly,
who knows?
you
It's gonna
have
go
that.
everywhere, except for Sony.
Yeah, because Sony will not have an Xbox logo anywhere on
Oh, my
it.
God, I tell you. This spells
that
some,
point-
I mean, I get it, man.
Yeah,
but
at that point,
yeah.
I do understand Sony's position.
I do too.
It wouldn't
I do
make
too.
sense.
They don't need
Like
to.
it would
Yeah,
not
they
make
need to.
sense. It would definitely not make sense. Whether they need it or not, because it's still like even Xbox trying to gain a track or whatever, they will not put Sony's logo, Sony PlayStation logo. Oh, PlayStation Game Studios is proud to announce that you can now play this.
Collaboration with Microsoft Studios.
Exactly. That's not. So under the Xbox Game Studios umbrella are 13 development teams, including Rare, Obsidian Entertainment, 343 Industries, and Ninja Theory. They're responsible for heavy hitters like Halo and Minecraft, but also titles like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. Next up on the release slate for Xbox Game Studios is Sumo Digital's Crackdown 3 out on February 15th. God, that's right around the corner.
It sure
I have
is.
not been following that game. Which he was set to launch back in 2016 before he suffered 3 delays and eventually pushed into early 2019 because I guess the power of the cloud was not
too much cloud processing.
too much. Yeah, exactly. Too much cloud processing.
Oh, man. I'm going to actually keep it on that same tip for Microsoft here. And Microsoft is actually giving away the original Crackdown right now as we speak. Microsoft is
That's a
giving
great
away.
game.
Yeah. Giving away digital copies. You hear me?
Copies?
What the hell's a copies? Digital copies.
I don't know, but I like it.
Of the original Crackdown. A promotion that coincides with the upcoming release of Crackdown 3, currently scheduled to launch February 15, just like my cohort said. Crackdown was released for the Xbox 360 and is backwards compatible on Xbox One. Will you be? Apparently, there's a up-resness to it's being up-res and everything too, but it's a free copy, so that's actually pretty cool.
Dude, if I was able to, like, I don't own an Xbox right now. I wishing at some point. I mean, this is not gonna happen, but I really wish that I could play my Xbox 360 titles that I own on PC. That would be like really right. I mean, it would be impossible. This is pipe dream.
Yeah.
But that's a game that if I own an Xbox, hell yeah, I will download it again and replay it. I mean, maybe not because we're so close to to the actual date of release of Crackdown 3. Crackdown 2, though, we don't need to talk about that one.
Yes, we don't. I wanted to quick because I only have one small piece left here.
Okay.
PlayStation 4 game. Excuse me. Let's say that again. PlayStation is hosting another flash sale on PSN, offering deals on some games that you may have missed during the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. Many of the discounts are to games that release in the fall, so you can be forgiven for having them overshadowed by big AAA releases. There's just a few that do stand out. I'll just kind of throw them out right now. The Darksiders 3 has been dropped to $48, which is not bad considering. For whatever reason, Fallout 76 is there at $36.
At 36,
and I think if you're a PlayStation Plus member, it's a little more, a little more of a discount, I should say.
Oh, okay.
Also, Monster Hunter World, $25. That's a great pickup right there. Moonlighter at $12.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's
I picked that at $13 on the on the lunar sale from Steam.
The lunar sale, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then of course we have Slime Rancher, which was one of Shadow's favorites, $12 as well. Swords of Ditto, which is a cool little title from Devolver Digital, $10, and Tetris Effect is at $30. There's a few more games in there, but those are the highlights. And of course, this is available until the date that I will see in a moment, February 11th at 8 a.m.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I heard that this weekend you could play Tetris Effect
For free. Yep.
I mean, a demo. It's like a few levels, but still, to see if you like it. Yeah.
It honestly, and of course, it's on flash sale. On top of that, it should make some. Money back.
It should attract. Like I could definitely consider that. I mean, if my wife likes it, because she's a Tetris fan, and she didn't like the flashiness of the video that she saw. But I'm hoping that once she plays it, it turns around. So this piece of news was actually interesting to hear. It's kind of good news to hear for those who are worried about Disney acquiring all these franchises, especially Deadpool. So Disney will still make R-rated Deadpool movies after buying the franchise from Fox. One of the franchises that Disney will get when it deals to buy the bulk of 20th Century Fox assets is a complete Deadpool series. Unlike a lot of Disney programming, Deadpool is not family friendly. That is part of the appeal and what makes the series so refreshing and unique. But will the House of Mickey's acquisition of Deadpool change that? It sounds like no. By the way, this is courtesy of GameSpot. Excuse me. Disney's chief Bob Iger said on an earnings call that he understands there is a significant interest in the R-rated Deadpool movies, and he pledged that Disney will, quote, continue in that business, unquote, or end quote, and potentially even expand to do more. We do believe there is room for Fox properties to exist without significant Disney influence over the nature of the content, meaning that we see that there's certainly a popularity among Marvel's fans for the R-rated Deadpool films, as for instance, he said, we are going to continue in that business, and there might be more room for that. Cool. So he said, he added that he is not concerned about standards and practices consideration when he looks at assets it's acquiring from Fox. In addition to Deadpool, Disney is getting The Simpsons and Family Guy, which are known to be edgier and less family friendly. The important matter will be ensuring that more adult-focused programming is branded that way, Agar explained.
Nice.
So, it's good to know. I mean, if there was something that it's a little scary, is the fact that they actually acknowledge the fact that, we kind of like tend to Disneyfy whatever we get our hands into, and that's how we never get, say, Marvel movie like Captain America. No, like Captain America, Winter Soldier. You know?
Oh, like that one again.
Yeah, like that type. We
I don't
tend
know.
to get them a little bit more
I don't know.
like
I think I can.
4-3
The oh God,
Ragnarok.
yes. I think that Infinity War wasn't as maybe serious as it, but it was the closest to it. Considering some of the events that occurred there. Obviously, no blood. It is what it is.
Exactly.
But there is. Yeah, but there wasn't blood in it's not like people were bleeding out in Winter Soldier.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
but you can see what I mean. You don't see it, but you knew they happened.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You obviously knew where that. We obviously knew where that knife was landing and where those cuts were. Yeah.
Enough,
I think that's the thought. That's the type of thing. That's the type of thing that we don't see on Marvel movies anymore.
I think honestly, I don't know. I was gonna say I have high hopes for this last one to just close it out for me already.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have high hopes. Real quick, sir, I almost forgot one last piece.
Oh,
Here,
well, by all
so I
means.
apologize. Some sad news for some people who are interested in this. Shaggy is not going to be coming to Mortal Kombat 11. Netherrealm confirms, so you can stop asking.
Pre-order cancel.
This was mentioned in the first Combat Cast live stream that revealed the upcoming fighters for Mortal Kombat 11. A Cabal was revealed, in addition to Devora, which I'm not even sure who Devora is. But Ed Boon did make it clear that, unfortunately, Shaggy is not happening. Let it go, people.
Jesus Christ.
Let
No,
it go. Just let it go.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Sometimes I like the internet. I'm a big fan of the internet, but sometimes the internet can be too internety.
I mean, when the meme started, I was like, okay, this is funny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
but
then you're like, and you know, Ed Boon didn't do himself any favor with tweeting that picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That mock up that he did, which to be fair, kind of looked a little awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it really kind of did. When I was like, really?
I don't know. It looked like a very bad Photoshop.
I mean, no,
like something
I'm saying,
quick to post.
Correct, and it definitely was. I'm not saying. What I'm saying is I guess the possibility.
Oh, okay.
And it was just like, I mean, it would be ridiculous, but it's not like Mortal Kombat hasn't had ridiculous characters.
No, exactly.
You know, I think Predator was in there at once, and
we have Ridley Scott's Alien. Was there?
Yeah, was there also Jason? I think was
Freddy.
in there. Freddy.
Yeah. No,
it's not
get
like you
that.
can't. Yeah. It's not like
I
you
get
can't
that, but
fit them. Yeah.
those are characters that you can like. You
They
know,
make sense
fight
there,
and
yeah.
dismember and
Yeah.
whatever. You're not gonna dismember freaking Shaggy.
Yeah,
come
that's-
on, let's
that's
be real.
not gonna
Nor
fall
is
well.
he gonna dismember any of the Mortal Kombat. It's like, come on, guys, don't get too carried away with the stupid
Hey,
things of the internet.
I
you know?
agree 100%.
At
I'm
some
just saying,
point-
the memes were funny early on.
yeah. Until the
But
internet
it's time.
ruined them.
It's time to move on.
Yeah.
And in the way of Bowsette, so goes Shaggy
Listen,
of Mortal Kombat.
Bowsette I still believe it should happen. It
Stop
should still happen.
Moving on,
It
guys.
was an awesome character, awesome idea.
No.
Better than Pichette or whatever the hell was that Toad. You know, that's a legit one.
I know.
Oh yeah,
But still.
better idea, much better idea. I applaud the internet for that one. So my last piece is just to remind you guys that Final Fantasy XIV's base game is free for Twitch Prime users until May. So if you ever wanted to get into the popular MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, now's your chance. As the game is free for Twitch Prime users on Windows starting today, starting on the day of this reporting, which was February 4th,
Monday.
until May 3rd. The base game you can play up to level 50 and do all the content before the first Heaven's Guard or Heaven's Ward expansion, which I heard it was great. We have a member of our group, the venerable Chaos Reaper.
Yes.
He is a big fan of Final Fantasy XIV. I appreciated what Final Fantasy XIV did because there's a Final 76 story for you. There was the first game was broken. It was super broken, but they had the balls to say, you know what, let's redo this again. Literally, like they destroyed. They actually had a destroyed an end of the world event.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped the game, and then they took 2 years and they created a really fantastic MMO. For the MMOs are kind of out of style now,
Yeah.
but it's good to know that there's still like of all the ones that are including World of Warcraft. Even I would say this is the one to play. This is the one. Like if I had more time, I would not mind playing Final Fantasy 14 because it was really good. It is really good.
I would recommend people go to No Clip on YouTube.
Yes.
And look up. There is a 2-part Final Fantasy 14 special, which is a documentary, which is really, really awesome. Really, really, really awesome, and it gives you a good history.
It definitely shows you
how they had to literally pull the plug on everything, and then start over.
Which is, you might want to start tweeting it also to Bethesda. Just kind of like remind Todd Howard that, hey, you kind of have to do this with Fallout 76.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know, but hey, they pull it off, and it was a success story.
It was, yeah.
Until right
and they're
now,
not the only ones.
Nobody remembers how crappy this was. Everybody remembers Final Fantasy 14 as this great MMO. They might not do it. They really should.
They really should.
They really,
but I don't think
really ought to do it.
They've actually, I posted an article in the group where
that almost became our. Like I was almost wanting to make that our topic
honestly,
of the week.
I kind of almost did as well, but in essence, they have released several patches since the release of Fallout 76.
Yeah,
and the game, for whatever reason, has gotten worse.
And
it's just like, how in the hell? You guys are literally swimming backwards. How do you do this? It doesn't make any sense.
Dude, I was watching, like, after I saw that post that you made, which, guys, you should actually check it out.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. I spent a good chunk of time just looking at duplication exploits on YouTube just to see how they are.
How they do it, yeah.
It's ridiculously easy to pull off. Like, how do you, I understand this is your first entry into into the MMO
space,
but get a freaking consultant from somewhere. Hire someone from Blizzard.
Your guys are right there. They already know how to do this.
Dude, exactly. Yeah. Like,
doesn't make
there
sense.
should not be any reason for a duplication, and it's ridiculously easy when I tell you it is.
And it's a game break.
Like, it breaks the game. Exactly. It's like, who is playing this and why?
Honestly, it just, to me, I hate to say this, and I won't say any more about this, but it just proves to me that Bethesda studio, the development studio itself, is truly inept. They just really are. If you really look at their track record, they had Fallout 3.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember that they've had. Fallout 3. Now, I'm not talking about New Vegas because that was not them. That was Oblivion. Fallout 4, it was good, but it really was just Fallout 3 again.
Yeah.
And then what do you have? Now you have Fallout 3.
Well, you have, Elder Scrolls, but again,
since Fallout 3, Elder Scroll, Skyrim. Skyrim, which was shit on PlayStation 3 for the record.
And before that, Oblivion. But and Oblivion was it was a little buggy, but you could tell they took the time a little bit on it. Fallout 3 was the iteration.
Skyrim on PlayStation.
Then Skyrim on PlayStation 4. I mean, come on, guys, you have to remember.
Was shit.
PlayStation 3, exactly.
Disgusting.
And it was still sold like gangbusters because people were like crazy. So people held this studio on like high regards to the point where they were so forgiving of the bugs and the crap, to the point where I will listen to podcasts of people saying, yeah, the games are buggy, but you have to understand this, the words they're creating, they're huge, and there's so many moving pieces. And I was thinking to myself, like, then why the hell put all the moving pieces?
Yeah.
Then make it less
doesn't
so
matter
you can
now.
manage it. Because it doesn't matter when you create worlds with so many moving pieces. All you're creating is a memory hog that nothing will run.
That was a good excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Before several games have came out and done it way better.
Yeah, exactly.
And now that excuse doesn't exist anymore.
Witcher,
I hadn't even say Witcher 3, but yeah.
Witcher 2 is just like waving a flag and like, look, guys, if you need help, this is how you do it. I've
already done it here.
This is how you do it. Yes.
So, and not to mention, it had its own Dragon Age Inquisition. Yes. Open world, very big, had a lot of things going on all the time.
Yeah.
It's not. There are games who've already fixed this, who've already passed them, and here is Fallout just.
You know what?
Staggering.
It was funny.
Along,
it was. It's one of our. Oh my God, forgetting your name. I'm so sorry, dude. But it's one of our members of our group. He posted what what they should actually allow to do.
Yes, he did.
Which
I think it was Yangel.
Yangel, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
He posted, hey, just let
brilliant, dude. I was like,
let the modders, the follow, modders work on it then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, that's all they've been doing with the follow series. Let them fix it.
Forgot about it. I was like, yes. Oh my God.
Yangel's
genius.
Yeah, it was genius.
Good job.
Why not?
Yeah. So for the record, guys, Final Fantasy 14.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 14. Play that. It's free. Come on,
And Switch Run.
And yeah.
All right, guys, we are back with our hot topic of the week.
With our hot cheat mail of the week.
The hot cheese man is that what is the exact word for cheese man in English?
That's when you were gossiping.
Oh, gossip. Oh,
yeah,
it is. Okay,
when you're gossiping.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're gossiping like old ladies here.
We are.
Yes,
that's how we do.
I'm sorry you guys were muted throughout the whole conversation, but it was hilarious.
You missed a doozy, let me tell you.
Yeah, there's some juicy info
at
here.
At some point,
that
there were alligators involved.
There was, yes. A lot of alligator leaks.
yes. That's all we can say.
Yes,
we can't
that's
say
right.
anything else. The hot topic this week, guys, is we're going to take time to check in on EA's status.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of take a pulse on it. The company.
Yeah.
I
mean, we touched on it pretty much throughout the
at the beginning
episode.
Oh, then okay. Then I guess we're done. All right, guys. See you next week. GG.
First off, their stock had a significant drop. I feel bad for them, but no, I don't.
No, but listen, if this is great news for investors, and listen to this is the investor hour, by the way. This is the time to buy now because they're making a comeback. They have Anthem.
Yeah, they
Apex,
and it's happening. And it's Apex is what gave them the upswing once more, but they were, I think, a good 8 points down or something like that.
Oh shit, they're on the upswing.
They're on the upswing.
Oh damn it, I forgot to buy.
But I think their stock prices. Anyway, we're not talking about stock prices here, guys. Their stock price, for the record, is not cheap. But of course, they make money. That's how they do.
You know that I own one stock of Microsoft. One. Well, actually, now it's 2 or 4 or something because it divides. It does dividends. And I don't know. Yeah, but I bought it just for show in 2001, I think it was, just to have it framed and all.
Yeah.
And
what did you do with it? I've seen that. Where'd you go with it?
Oh, I don't have a good place to put it. I have put it somewhere.
So it's around
it's
here
in somewhere. Yeah. And
so it's random stock laying around.
Yeah. It actually says Microsoft 2001, long live the evil empire.
Oh, nice.
And so
at least they recognize. No, just
I had them put that on the frame, and it looked real nice. It was this startup company. I don't know if they exist, or I think they do actually, because I recently acquired another one, which was probably 5 years ago or 6 years ago. Whenever Facebook went into opened their IPO.
Oh wow!
And I bought one stock also.
Facebook, okay.
And now that one, they don't do the certificates anymore, where they look like the paper certificate. So it's not a real. It's a legitimate stock in the sense that you do have the stock, but the certificate itself is just kind of like a show thing, as opposed to the Microsoft one, which is a legit certificate from back before they went paperless, I guess. Let's say.
Sure.
And I have those, and just for having that, every now and then I get announcements and to vote on their shareholders meetings and crap like that, and decisions makings and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. If you guys knew how many shares do I have,
you wouldn't be asking.
I wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't be spending the 25 cents sending this or whatever.
That's funny.
So EA.
So EA. So
I missed the EA bandwagon. I could
have gone on that one stock.
Yeah, the one
share.
That's what it was called. One share.
Oh, okay.
OneShare.com, something like that. Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, you should have gone on it.
They are. ¿Cómo se dice? Auspiciando show. They are auspiciando when they are
I don't know what that means.
when this show is brought to you by
Sponsoring.
Thank you. That's the word.
Okay.
The Spanglish is real with this show.
It sure is, guys.
It sure is.
It sure is.
So,
So yes, unfortunately, they're not doing too well, guys. I just wanted to get a quick little recap as to what they've done. We're gonna go back with.
I'm sorry, it sounded funny because to hear that EA is doing bad, it's like it's almost
about time. I think. I mean, because
like they need a wake up.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree, and I would think that Star Wars and all the craziness with Battlefront would have done it.
Don't get me started with Star Wars and the piss poor job that they have made with the series and how Bob Iger from the CEO from Disney, it's like it's seeing the what EA has done with it, which basically set them on fire. You know, they have the government bodies from the world, you know, pretty much accusing, you know, the company accusing them of being a Star Wars themed casino, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're fine.
We're fine with it.
We're okay.
We're okay with what they've done with the license.
Which is absolutely nothing. They have released. Hold on, let me count. 1, 2. Oh yeah, 2 games.
Yeah,
2 games from them,
and both to mediocre from mediocre to poor.
To poor, yeah.
For
a Star Wars game, for a Star Wars license on a 10-year span, which I'd love. You remember that thing that you posted one time where it shows in a 10-year span when the Star Wars IP was free for companies to develop, you know, to get the license to develop
many games. Yeah.
We had so many awesome Star Wars games, and suddenly it went exclusive to EA, and we haven't gotten a single decent Star Wars game.
Yeah,
not one.
Not one. And then throw into it Battlefield 1, which actually was which was really, honestly, that was an upswing for them. Battlefield 1, which actually I do remember enjoying. We played a lot of that.
It was an interesting. It
was very good.
It was different from what they have been doing with Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. Yeah.
However, that of course did shit on Titanfall 2.
Yes, exactly.
Because of that. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the whole rumor of the possibility that was more Respawn's idea. If this is your, you know, subsidiary and they're part of your team, and you see that they're trying to release something in a window, they probably shouldn't. I think you as the parent company should step in and say, "Hey, get out of the don't release
at
least,
this Titanfall 2 should have been a first quarter or spring release.
First quarter or spring release.
Yeah.
Dude, games are doing amazing there.
Yes.
Apex Legends is another example.
Exactly.
You know?
There you go.
So, and then of course this last year Battlefield 5. My God, is that just now? That said, we just went over the numbers. They did sell a good amount of copies, but still, I don't even know anything. Like I don't even see gameplay of it. Like I see gameplay of Blackout. You know, you suddenly see a random video, something that shows gameplay of Blackout.
Dude, nobody's playing it. Nobody's playing it because
7.3 million copies. No one's playing this.
Yeah, and that was at the beginning, and it is because yes, we had a Battlefield 1 last year, which pretty much satisfy the niche that wants to play a World War type shooter.
Battlefield 1 the year before.
Yeah, the year before. Yeah, right. Because the weapons on this one, they're not that different. No. The gameplay is not that different, you know, and for those, and there are still people that prefer the modern the modern setting of Battlefield 4, which was an outstanding Battlefield experience because it lasted long enough for them to keep adding and developing and adding stuff. And well, let's say they started by fixing it because it was broken. It was broken as well at the beginning, but it became something else, and they just don't leave enough time for these games to breathe before
it just seems to me like
snuffing them out.
They're not. I don't know. There's a certain missed focus. Like there's no focus.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, we just need to get things going. Hey, is that ready? Then just put it out now. You know, this disarray just feels like it's just they're not firing on all cylinders. And frankly, I'm worried about Anthem because Anthem's right there. And while I'm sure, I'm sure that it's going to have a decent launch. You know what I mean? People are going to be there for it because people are excited for it. It is curious that Apex Legends just comes out right beforehand, and while they're not the same type of game, they're a online type of title, and that obviously that's gonna eat away at your player base, right?
Yeah.
It's got to. And then of course you have Division shortly after that. It's like they're all too close to each other, and I don't know how there's only so many people, right?
I tell you, here's what I feel like the fundamental problem is with the whole entire executive body of EA right now. Because we thought back in the day with the previous generation, they were starting to dip their toes onto the microtransactions, and we weren't liking what they were doing. Remember when there was, we got to release Dead Space 3, but it's going to be this bro shooter. And by the way, here's microtransactions shoved into it just because.
In your face.
Yeah. So that's when you started seeing the decadence of EA. EA used to be a company that had a lot of stable of different studios working, great studios that, of course, they have murdered, basically. They have killed in the prime of their youth just because they didn't produce to the unreal levels that they were expecting it, because we can't say that the studios release a bad game. Sure, there were a few that released games that were not optimal, but for the most part, sometimes the games were good, but because it didn't meet the unrealistic sales expectations, they go ahead and snuff them out. So EA was the company that used to have different stable of studios, and they will be working on different type of games. You remember games of all type.
Yeah,
of all type.
I remember another one that they unfortunately messed up on the sequel was, what's the one that was the first person running on the
Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge. Yes.
Yeah.
And people were clamoring for another Mirror's Edge, and
those were experiments that they were doing right around the time that they were experimenting with Dead Space. But of course, because he wasn't the bro shooter because he wasn't meeting Call of Duty, because they had to follow Call of Duty, because Call of Duty numbers, then they killed it. So here's what happened with EA. At some point, they have their extremely successful FIFA license. And that game has been doing very well for them. I would go as far as to say, I've seen some charts that game pretty much by itself sustains more than half of the income that EA receives, of the revenue that EA receives. That game alone. That game is huge.
Mm-hmm. And it's a worldwide game.
It is a worldwide game obviously of a very famous, the most famous sport in the world. And it is riddled to the top with microtransactions and loot boxes. It pretty much is the blueprint of which EA have wanted all other games to become, regardless of genre. Mm-hmm. So you have it. So in FIFA, and it was allowed. It was allowed to a point where it became this thing where it was a lot of people were spending money, and I think because it was that it was feasting, it was feeding that card collectible. You know how the sport card collecting. Remember that that it was kind of feeding off of that. I guess I will have
That's
to.
What it sounds like.
Not to mention also the fact that if you wanted to get your ultimate teams, and be competitive, you literally had to gain the best cars that will allow you to get the best players.
Pay to win light, but pay to win model.
Pretty much. Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned, because yes, it was light, and over the years it have become heavier and heavier pay to win. For some reason, this game still sells around the world like gangbusters. So EA wants this to become the de facto way of all other games make the way all other games make their revenue, regardless of the type of game it is. And that's when you see the games like freaking Battlefront 2 having with no business having the level of microtransaction BS that it had, to the point where government agencies they finally took a stand. Some government agencies around the world, they were like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is a game that it's a Star Wars license. Obviously, Star Wars license is it's something that it's targeted towards kids. Families and kids and all that. And you're presenting it with the opportunity to spend real world money,
Which
to game and to play.
There are known cases of I mean, blame who you want to blame, but there are known cases of parents who suddenly go, "What is this charge for $100 and something dollars?" You know what I mean? And you realize that their kids are actually just throwing money away into this cycle because it's this thing. And I mean, again, you place the blame where you want to place the blame at, but it's still happening. You know what I mean?
Well, and also not just kids, but it is because I feel that the argument against microtransactions of this type is like, well, they don't affect me because I don't buy them. Well, great. That you are not the target. Exactly. You have no problem with it. Yeah. You're on top. Great, but don't think that everybody else is
not
like you, or have that, or don't have the compulsions or sometimes sickness that this company preys upon to just to try to make more unrealistic amounts of money.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's a bit as a business, it should be making money, but at some point, they're starting to become, or not starting, they have become less of that gaming company that cares about gamers and more of that exploitative entity that is there to take advantage of gamers.
Correct.
Basically. That's why Apex was such a Apex Legend it's such a shock, because it is so far the narrative has been that it is very opposite to what EA has done with every other game. Yeah. And they can still manage to make money for them and show EA that there are other ways.
Correct. The right way, probably. There were a couple games that they released last year that would fall into the, shall we call it, artistic category. You have Fee, which they were showing off for a long time, which is that purple and black creature game. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a smaller title. A Way Out, and then Unravel 2. Obviously, games that don't include any type of microtransactions and all that stuff. 3 games. From there, you have, of course, Battlefield 5, you have FIFA, you've got Command and Conquer Rivals, which also was a hit on their earnings report when they mentioned they were Command and Conquer Rivals also didn't live up to whatever expectations they have. And I'm like, if you saw your own EA press conference, you can see why it didn't.
Yes, exactly.
NHL, of course, the NHL series, the NBA series, the FIFA, which you just mentioned, the Madden, and of course Sims, which
and Sims has become that to a lot lesser extent, or at least for what I've seen. I can't speak fully for the Sims because I haven't been following it that close. But the model of the Sims had been release the game barren from all the features that make your prior game what it is, and then sell it to them again. Sell it to them again.
Sell them the differences,
yeah.
And people fall for it. The problem is, I think honestly, the problem is here. Unfortunately, it is us as a whole as gamers. You know what I'm saying? You have these games still sell every year.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 of these games. 5 of these games are annualized games.
Yes.
Every year there's a new one, and every year there's those guys, people going out to buy them, and you're basically adding to that to that pool. It's not helping the situation.
Yeah.
And now of course for the hardcore gamer they've come out with Anthem, and I honestly, dude, I feel like something bad is just going to. I mean, already, what is it? The skins. What is it? Were $20 or something like that? Or the original? It's not official, but like an amount was kind of put out there, and it was like $20 for a skin.
Yes,
skin. And it's just like that is that gross EA that we're talking about. You know what I mean?
And I remember seeing that and thinking, because they came up with like they mentioned, we're still looking into what we want to praise, basically the title. That's not exactly what they say, but in essence, this is not. It's not 20. It's not that it's $20. We're still
working out the price
researching
model. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute. This game has been in development for how long? Obviously, you're putting systems in place already.
True that. $20, okay, is just $1 and change higher than what Fallout 76 was selling their Santa Claus outfit in their game. So I can believe them saying this is us testing it. It's testing it. Can we get $1 more than Fallout 76, which again has made money because it has sold. And I'm sure people are buying that freaking outfit for $18.99, whatever it was. That's them testing it. That's the thing. That's what I'm looking at. I can see EA in this. And that's what has me just like I can't even touch Anthem. Dude, I finished the demo, and the moment I knew I was gonna go back it again because I was like, we have to play for like 3 hours, so I'm like, that's good enough. Uninstall. Never went back, and that was on Saturday. I could have gone back on Sunday because it was still available.
Because it was still open. Yeah.
No, that's all right.
You already got.
I'm done. I got my fill. I'm good. And I'm never gonna touch it again, and I don't even care.
We kind of, we kind of stand hoping, and again, the fact that I keep bringing up, Apex, gives me hope that that's the chosen one, but I don't believe it. That is gonna be.
Yeah.
But we keep hoping that because at the end of the day, they're not bad games. They're not making crap games. It's that they're taking a good idea and they are riddling it with pay to.
They're looking for any way to get an extra buck from someone who's already paid $60 for this stuff.
And that's the part where it gets ridiculous. That's the thing.
The issue. The issue is that you're getting you're not getting that's the deal. You're not getting the full game. Like for instance, for Spider-Man, I paid in total. I paid total $85 for Spider-Man. Why? Because I paid for $60 for the game, and I paid for the pass for the 3 expansions. I got my money's worth in the $60 title. The $60 title had everything I wanted it to have. It had all the aspects of it, a beautiful world. Everything I loved about it was great. So much so that $25 didn't feel like an expenditure. It didn't feel like I was getting something that I should have already had. No, quite the opposite. EA has gone flip side on that, and it's been like way forever where it's like, okay, we're going to hold back on some of this stuff and give them 70% of the total game, and we'll piecemeal them back to 30%, and maybe more on top of that. You know what I mean? We'll give them 130 in the end. Yeah. But now you're you're forced to pay for stuff that it just should come. Look at Red Dead Redemption. I mean, as much as Red Dead Redemption has. It has its issues, but it is an immense title. Yeah. For $60, you're getting way more. It's just I don't understand how people fall for this. Now, how people keep going.
Funny that you mentioned Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Because
they're online.
I want to make sure exactly. I want to make sure you don't forget that the reason that game is amazing and it has that world and it's all that. But the reason they're really making this is because they're looking forward that multiplayer.
Oh yeah, definitely. But they didn't shortchange you on that.
No. On the single player experience. No. And I will say, if somehow EA was to deliver an experience of
that
on Anthem, on that level, well, okay, maybe not realistic to expect a live service game to be on the level of Red Dead. But what I'm trying to say is,
why not? Red Dead is live service game. Red Dead Online. Why is it not reasonable to expect that?
True. I guess you're right on that point.
If they've literally set that bar, they give you this immense game for $60, and you have Red Dead Online, which is free. And yeah, it has the microtransactions. You don't have to play it. You already got your more than $60.
Well, the whole point of the whole point of EA of Red Dead's Online is for you to play the to pay.
No, I get that.
And to add,
I get that. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't feel cheated in any way. Feeling that, like for instance, like to go back to Call of Duty. Call of Duty for a long time until this most recent one. You get a 5-hour campaign, maybe 4.5-hour campaign, and the rest is multiplayer with all its stuff that you end up paying for. So, are you getting your $60 worth there if you don't play online?
Well, not if I don't play online, but
Correct.
the people that play online is getting more than the $60 worth.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
but they're still having to pay for stuff. It's not that you're
Right.
getting everything's for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. That it's a difference. I understand what you're saying. That yes, of course, the online Red Dead Online. The purpose is, hey, to keep an online.
That's gonna
service
microtransaction the crap out of this.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And however, one can argue that with GTA Online, they kind of know the best way of doing it because it's just making money upon money. Now, don't get me wrong. I've never played it, so I don't know if it's doing it the correct way or you know what I'm saying. But my point is that never seems to come up as being predatory.
Yeah.
Correct. So obviously people have looked and viewed as, hey, they're doing it the right way.
Well,
So you can still have hours upon hours of joy without ever spending a cent.
Well, that's my point. If EA could actually manage to get Anthem to a level where it doesn't feel predatory, you know, and I get it. They are cosmetic only. I'm sorry if I gave the impression. I think I mentioned it. It kind of slip of the tongue. I say pay to win. It's Anthem does not have, as of right now, pay to win. And to be honest, if I were a betting man, I will bet that they will not get pay to win after all the crap that they have gotten from. I think that part of the lesson is well earned. Now the other part is assuring that this is a game that will actually sustain a life their life as service the life as service scheme that they're doing, which is make it something that you want to actually go back, make it interesting, make it fun. The grind's not gonna be for anybody.
No.
But there are people that enjoy the grind.
People love it, yeah.
People love the people play Destiny for that.
Yeah.
And maybe that is the game for them.
They don't even think of it as a grind.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so
They're having fun. They're still playing with their
but
buddies.
that's what they're betting on. And me just being as someone who just does not trust them as far as I can throw them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just I see them literally making Destiny 2 or Destiny 1 look good.
Yeah.
That's what I hope it doesn't do it. I seriously hope it does. I don't wish in any way for someone to spend $60 and not get their money's worth. However, I still think when you give it 3 months after launch, people are going to look at Destiny and go, you know what? Destiny was not as bad as we thought. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just my own opinion.
Well, honestly,
it's my own. It's not a prediction. I'm just saying it's my own opinion. It's my own thought that's what I was going to be.
No, and I don't want in any way for Anthem to be bad or to fail. Quite the opposite. I could really use a really cool, open world game where it's interesting and, from what the little that I played for the demo, I can't make judgment. But from what I saw, everybody else, it looks a little weak on that on that part. But who knows? Or we're not gonna know until reviews are out. If this game comes out and it has stellar reviews and all the good, you say that's fantastic, because hearing that on top of hearing EA not using the pay to the pay to win strategy. I mean, at some point, like with Bethesda, I think there was a point where you were boycotting it.
Yeah.
And then at some point, the goodwill that they have demonstrated was enough to say, okay, we're off. You're off the hook. Now I want EA to reach that point to where we can say, okay, so maybe you have garnished enough good vibe where we can finally forgive and never forget, but forgive what happened with Battlefront 2 and the Star Wars, and you deliver us a good Star Wars from Respawn Entertainment, which is in the work, and maybe that's your shining studio now. Maybe that's the one that will actually help your the problem that they had, the PR problem that they have of everybody thinking it's the most evil company in the world, yada yada.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
But in reality, exactly. In reality, as long as this executive body is there, and which will always creativity. We don't care about creativity. We don't care about development. We just want, at the end of the day, is whatever you're developing,
some sort of revenue.
We need to put a revenue stream on it that has to be primary. to the point where, and this is the part that bothers, to the point where you can have all the cosmetic microtransactions in the world, but the moment that you start messing up with the gameplay in order to make progression more difficult, that's the point. That's the point where you already, you done fucked it up, as I say. At that point, you're back to being, or not back. You will stay being evil EA, as you've been. And if Respawn could do a Bungie and separate itself, like I'm super happy to hear that Bungie was able to separate itself from Activision, because that gives me hope. That gives me legitimate hope for the next, for where Destiny might be coming. I don't hate Destiny. I quite like Destiny, actually. Not to the extent of all the people. I don't do the grinds or anything like that, but I find it a very fun game, and I would be very excited to hear about what Destiny 2.8 duodecim or Destiny 3 or whatever they do next.
Yeah,
whatever Bungie does next, especially now that they're not in the hands of Activision, I'm super excited to hear about. I will be the same.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen with Respawn, but I hear what you're saying.
What do you mean?
That Respawn would
no, not with Respawn. I'm saying I hope they do, but honestly, if this is the moment for EA to grip pretty much their lifeline right now,
like you said, the golden goose that laid a golden egg.
Yes,
what I mean? We're not going to touch them. We're going to let them do what they want to do.
And I honestly believe that, hey, if I like the idea. In theory, I like the idea of fuck this company, boycott them. I know I can't follow. But you know why? Because they're gonna be the company. It's the publisher. There's the publisher, and then the different studios, and they're gonna be different studios. Like in the case of EA, they have BioWare. Well, I know BioWare is actually in its heart. It's actually a great studio. They have developed some of my favorite games of all time. When you have Mass Effect 2, when you have Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2, my God. And that's a studio that I would never want to see die,
Yeah.
And at that, if it was by themselves and if they were doing good and they were not riddling their games with crap, then I'll be all for that. I will show EA, yes, I'll put my money here. I won't put my money on FIFA. I get it that at the end you're getting the money, but at the end, of course, that's going to happen, regardless. But at least the message is there. The message is showing you that, these are the games that I like playing. I'm speaking with my wallet on that sense. With Anthem, I would love for Anthem to be something that is not predatory. It doesn't look like it's going that route. It looks like it's actually going, a little bit on the opposite, not as aggressive.
Yeah, it's dancing on the line, really.
But it's dancing on the line, exactly. But then you have Apex. So far, because this is super early,
let's wait for that first season.
Yeah, exactly. Let's wait for the season.
What we're looking at.
Still, even at the same season, let's say, for example, season comes $20. You have to remember that game was free. That game is it's free, and if it's following the model of Fortnite, it should not require you to get the season pass to be able to be competitive on it. So if I can still play this game, for free,
the perks,
well, if it's cosmetic, I don't care.
The characters. I mean, one would assume you can pay for the characters.
Yeah.
I'll get obviously the difficulty of paying for them.
I get the character, but at that point, the game is free. I kind of want to support that. It is. I don't have a problem with if your game is free. You need to get the money somehow. Obviously, you need to pay your employees. Yeah. But if the game is $60 already, you already got my revenue. You already got the money that you expected to get, and don't try to nickel and dime me for the rest.
I'm not willing to give BioWare, DICE, some of these other subsidiaries of EA a pass just yet. They are just as maybe not 100%, maybe not 50%, but they are just as responsible for a lot of the stuff that occurs. So I'm not willing to give them that pass just yet. But I hear what you're saying. I don't want I wouldn't want anything to happen to BioWare either.
Well, think of Bethesda, for example. Bethesda Studios with Fallout 76 is that it was a disaster. It was definitely and that studio itself pretty much tarnished the whole time the whole
True, but
brand of Bethesda. For example, I'll just give you an example with that. But Bethesda has machine games and they have its software. They're not responsible or directly responsible for the fuck ups of Bethesda Game Studios.
True.
You know, so why would those games be suffer just because they happen to be part of that of the publishing company?
So
that is Bethesda.
Yeah, true. But I was mostly referring to microtransactions, and I don't think that microtransactions are 100% coming just from EA. I'm pretty sure that BioWare has their hands all in it as well, just like DICE has their hands in on everything that they've done. It's not all EA that's making the decision. Yeah. I don't want to. Not that I want to paint a light on EA, but I don't want to just say that they're just the ones responsible, because it's not always the case. And realistically, on top of that, the development team for BioWare's the last one, Andromeda, the problem there was development, had nothing to do with anything else. So that is BioWare's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like it or not, that was you guys who created
you
and
decided
released it.
You thought this was actually
correct,
reasonable to release.
Go,
that's on you. Yeah,
exactly.
I give 100% that.
So that's what I mean to say. I don't want to completely say it's it's to give them a pass or anything like that. But as far as EA goes, this year will definitely be telling. They don't have, other than Anthem, and then of course your usual lineup of all the crazy sports games that they have. It'll be interesting to see what 3 months into Anthem, with all these other titles already kind of ramping up as well, to see how they hold up. But yeah,
I'm thinking of let's say just for funsies. Let's say this was not EA that we're talking about. Let's say that this is Sony. Okay. Let's say that Sony released they're known for their microtransactions and their BS on most of their games, but they have Naughty Dog, and they have Santa Monica Studios. They have Sony of Japan and all these other houses, and their games are clean. Their games are not in that level of, and we're already boycotting Sony because, God damn, Sony, they don't care about players. They say they're for the players, but they're completely anti the game. You know what I'm saying? It's it will be impossible for because at that point it'll send the mess. It feels like throwing the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah,
kind of message.
Maybe it is. But yes, that is a level of my anger when it comes to Fallout now.
You will definitely say, screw Uncharted, screw you people from.
I've done it.
Last of Us 2.
How many Bethesda titles did I pass up before finally?
It wasn't until I pretty much shoved Wolfenstein
into my hand,
and it's because. You felt you had an obligation to play this, otherwise you would offend me as it was a gift.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right,
okay, fine. I bet that when you saw that logo on your screen, you were like,
"Oh, I was not happy." Fucking Bethesda.
That's what happens when I reload. When I load Apex, and the first logo that comes.
I actually the first time I told you, I don't think I saw an EA thing, and of course I reloaded. I was like, yeah. There it is.
There it is.
Fucking hell. I guess I didn't want to see it,
It's in the game.
It is.
It's in the game.
Oh, God. Don't do that. Oh, EA. It's in the game.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode, episode 146. Once again, please go to goodgame.tech, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everybody. Mr. David Santos. Oh, wait. That's not what I say. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Now I say, Mr. Santos, take us home.
Somehow it got to be 12:30.
I know. I don't know.
I don't know how, because we start recording at almost like 8-ish.
No, it was about 8:30.
8:30?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Because I was like, Have we just made a 3-hour episode?
No, we're still short of that. So
Okay, so we're short by 20 minutes. So let's see. What can we do for 20 minutes?
20 minutes. We can. I don't know.
Let's talk about Apex again.
We can talk about Apex for more than 20 minutes.
You guys are hating the game already.
I know.
because
They're
you
like,
heard
I'm not
me.
trying it. I don't even care if it's
Screw
free.
that. Yeah, screw it. I don't care if it's free. It's too much. It's
Yes.
so expensive.
I don't want to be talking about it all the time like these guys.
I don't want to be talking about Apex now available on Xbox, PlayStation 1, and PC for free.
Coming to Switch soon, maybe. I don't know.
we don't know. We don't know that. And I'm happy to hear that the developers. I was concerned because I was like, not at the expense of Titanfall 3, but they have come.
Yeah, I heard, but I don't put any weight on
No.
that. Okay.
I heard they say no. We're still working on a Titanfall project. They didn't say Titanfall 3. So that still gets me worried about the fact that it's not. But I'm thinking it's just that stupid VR thing that they were gonna be doing.
It could be.
Anyway, and
It could be.
That's not
Yeah,
right.
I don't have any faith in EA of greenlighting a Titanfall 3 because that is not a moneymaker. They
Well,
had 2 already,
what if-
and it did not
Apex
do commercially
is
well.
Apex is based on the style. It's actually supposed to be the Titanfall universe.
Yes.
So if suddenly that gets revitalized, this will be the perfect time. Not now, but in the future. Let's say this keeps
Perhaps,
on going.
but
this
let's
it
be
will
real.
the perfect time to release
When
a
you
Titanfall
look,
3.
yes, but when you look at Apex, do you really see Titanfall?
Yes,
I
a
don't.
lot,
I don't see
dude.
Titanfall at
The
all.
robot is literally the robot from Titanfall 3.
No, he's not.
He is. He is.
He's not
honestly.
the Titanfall 3.
Of Titanfall 2. Sorry, not the big robot.
That's what I'm talking.
The little ones. There's some little ones that help you train.
okay.
Yeah, he is the character from
so
there.
a character that
No,
maybe you
the
saw.
whole world, the weapons, the entire world. Dude,
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking. It's sorry. I did play Titanfall 2.
Yes.
I played the whole story mission, and no, I don't see it. It's
you
not,
should
it's a-
should look side by. Okay, of
Maybe
course.
I can look
it's
again.
Not, of course, this looks a lot. This will be the Deadpool of Marvel Universe. All right, where it's still in the
unrecognizable
universe,
is what you're saying.
but it is unrecognizable from what happens. But it's still
No,
the same
don't
universe.
get me wrong. I understand that it is supposed to be the same universe.
Exactly.
But like regular eyes looking at
Uh-huh.
it, yeah, you're not gonna see it.
Dude, it's
You're not gonna see it, so-
it's sci-fi.
Just accept
and
it.
the
that it
weapons
does not look the same.
Dude, it is. I'm not saying it looks exactly the same,
I didn't
but
say
it looks pretty
But
similar.
it's not. No,
If you don't see it,
doesn't
you gotta
even
be.
remind me
You are.
of it.
Yeah.
Like we were playing it, I'm going.
Uh,
I don't see anything here that's Titanfall.
Dude, there are
But,
characters
hey.
that are literally the characters of Titanfall. See, this is how we spend.
Yes.
This is how we can
This
reach
is how
20
we get
minutes.
20 minutes.
Yes, yes. So we better just cut it here.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
GG!